Midweek meeting time, fam. You doing? Watching your phone and all the notifications? We picked up a guy named Sudfeld from the Eagles. Yeah, you know what though? I like this. You know why? Because there will be no shortage of arms out in camp. You know what? My jubilation is over the fact that the more QBs I got in camp, I don't want any receiver during camp sitting around doing nothing but waiting for his turn. All right, you guys, there's an East field and a West field, and we'll let you know when your time's coming up to run this week's play or whatever. Because I don't, no drops this year. All right, stop dropping the damn ball. Stop dropping the damn ball. If the ball is catchable, catch the ball, receiver. Catch the ball. In fact, I would love to initiate fines for those who drop balls that are deemed catchable by a panel of 3 to make the judgment call. Stop dropping the damn ball. Anyway, this season, GM John Lynch and Coach Shanahan extended themselves in unusual fashion by trading up from the 12th position in the draft to number 3. In fact, that's an unusual position for 49er front office people to begin with, right? But this year is extraordinary because when's the last time the 49ers did this? You got to go all the way back to Alex Smith, right? It is, of course, assumed that they will pursue one of the top quarterbacks in the 2021 draft, as is normally the case for trading up that high in the draft order. Such a move comes with huge, extraordinary risk due to the cost involved in gaining such a high position in the order. Failure is not an option. And could mean heads will roll if the move doesn't deliver success. But you know, one thing we know about Lynch and Shanahan, these guys are confident in what they do. So you got to trust them. You got to believe this is whatever they're doing, it's going to work. But tonight we'll be taking your call to get your thoughts on any fears you may be entertaining. Or is it a move that you fully endorse, which is pretty much what I expect. But, there are those other opinions that I'd love to hear from, too. That matter, along with everything else, trading red and gold during this 2021 offseason. Let's get right into it. 5 teams in the past decade have traded into the top 3 of the draft to select QBs. With the Jets trade of Sam Darnold to the Panthers on Monday, none of those quarterbacks are employed by the teams that went up to get them. Kind of scary, huh? It's just one of those facts. When things are documented year after year, time after time, they become something of a warning or one of those rules that has to be broken, and you're going to be the first to do it. Also, none of the head coaches remain from those failed moves either. If things go spectacularly wrong, could the 49ers trade from number 12 to number 3 lead to the eventual departures of Coach Shanahan and GM John Lynch? I do not want to see or hear that, because that means as an organization, we're going into a tailspin. And that means we'll probably be getting our butt kicked. The dark, dismal days after Harbaugh will be back underway again. We're eventually going to go through it at some point, but I don't want to go through it anytime soon. During a recent interview, former NFL executive Mike Tannenbaum was on 49ers Talk, and he said, quote, "It's an important move. There are no two ways about it, but they've done a great job. They haven't batted 1,000. They got Solomon Thomas wrong. No one bats 1,000. But if you look at the totality of the program and its trajectory, I think they've done a really good job. And if the Yorks, and if I'm the Yorks, I think they deserve to be there for quite a while," unquote. Yeah, you got to give Lynch and Shanahan do need a certain margin to make errors. Some people probably believe they've already had that margin and using it up, but these guys know what they're doing. I do like what they do and how they think. So, because they're solid. So if they do make a mistake, just go back home, sit up under that cabana and relax. They'll get it straight. So let's review. So what I'd like to do is review some of those previews Previous times in the past decade in which teams targeted and traded up for quarterbacks high in the draft. Let's go back to Washington, in fact, because it's real relevant. When you're talking about the Shanahans, Kyle, in 2012, Washington traded up for number 6 to select Robert Griffin, the third and number 2, one spot behind Andrew Luck. Can you imagine? Then again, Andrew Luck, Andrew Luck did miss a lot of time. It's a fate of quarterbacks. It happens often. A lot of people, especially with our conversations, think Jimmy G's the only quarterback in history that's ever went down to injury. But it's happened a lot. Mike Shanahan was a head coach and the de facto general manager, but that move was orchestrated by owner Daniel Snyder and then team president Bruce Allen. Griffin had a strong rookie season, as we all know, with Kyle Shanahan as the offensive coordinator. But he was later injured and struggled mightily before getting benched in December of the 2013 season. Mike Shanahan was fired at the end of the 2013 season. Griffin struggled in 2014 and was deactivated for all of 2015 before he was released after that season. Snyder fired Allen after the 2019 season. See, it's a dominoing effect. You got to be really careful with taking those kind of risks, and especially when most of this was Snyder's fault to begin with. But he is the owner. It's like Jed York told us a few years ago: you don't fire or dismiss owners. The Rams, always a good. You could always use the Rams, if for nothing else, for bad examples. The Rams traded all the way from number 15 with the Tennessee Titans to take Jared Goff at the top of the 2016 draft. The Rams also dealt a future first-round pick, 2 second-round picks. Wait a minute. And 2 third-round picks to the Titans. Then Coach Jeff Fisher did not even make it through the season. GM Les Snead, however, remains in that same role. See, that's funny because you got to pass the buck. If I'm the GM, I'm going to fire you before I fire me. Sean McVay was hired as Rams coach in 2017, as you know. After the 2020 season, the Rams pulled off a blockbuster trade to acquire Matthew Stafford from the Detroit Lions in exchange for Goff, first-round picks in 2022, 23, and a third rounder this year. Rudy, don't come in here, man, because you ain't, boy, shameless. You can't go anywhere, Rudy. An organization that's always in flux. And then you go to the Eagles. In 2016, the Eagles traded up from number 8 overall with the Cleveland Browns to hop into the draft slot at number 2 overall. There, Philadelphia selected Carson Wentz, one spot behind Goff. And Philly also traded a first-round pick in 2017, a second-round pick in 2018, a third-round and fourth-round picks in 2016. I'm going to stop right there because it goes on, and I'll be reading here for the next 15 minutes to talk about that pick. Wentz looked like a superstar in his second NFL season. But a torn ACL ended his year. The Eagles went on to win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles at quarterback, and Wentz has never returned to that same level. He got benched last season for Jalen Hurts, a second-round pick in 2020. The Eagles traded Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts, as you know, just a few weeks ago for a third-round pick and a conditional second-round pick next year. Even though he was just 3 years removed from a Super Bowl title, Coach Doug Peterson was also shown the door this past season. General Manager Howie Roseman remains with the club. See, Jed is the only guy I know that fires GMs and coaches. Usually the owner says to the GM, do something about the situation. The GM, of course, goes out and fires the coach right away. So, and then you have the Jets. In 2018, the Jets gave up their pick at number 6 overall, as well as 3 second-round selections to move up 3 spots for Sammy Darnold, who started 38 games in 3 seasons but never had much support around him. Then head coach Todd Bowles and general manager Mike McCagnon were fired after Darnold's rookie season. Be trading up, boy, because see, this is why when you think about it, this is why Jimmy G will stay around for a year. At least you don't have to depend on that rookie in case, which happens way more than not, in case that rookie goes in and falls down, the 49ers go 1-15. See, these are things. I know we got a great team. It ain't possible, man. No matter who we put in there, they're going to be fine. No, it doesn't work like that. You can get your ass whooped. And then, of course, the owner is getting pressure, and he's got to do something about it. And then you got a big mess going on. Adam Gase's 2 seasons as head coach were a disaster. Leading the Jets to replace him with our guy, D.C. Robert Saleh. Bobby, look out, man. Though, like Todd Bowles, we maybe we get Robert Saleh back next year. So I ain't gonna wish that. I'm just kidding. I'm not wishing anything bad on Bobby Saleh. Bobby Saleh's my guy. On Monday, Donald was shipped to Carolina as he looks to reboot his career. The Jets are expected to select BYU quarterback Zach Wilson with the number 2 overall draft pick in just a few weeks. And then you can look at the Bears. In 2017, the Bears found a trade partner, as you know, with our guys. The good guys. The Bears moved from number 3 overall to number 2. No big deal with that. To ensure they would get Mitchell Trubisky, the quarterback they coveted at that time. The 49ers received a 3rd-round pick and a 4th-rounder that year, as well as another 3rd-round selection the next year. Was that Fred Warner? We got something. Who was that we got? We got somebody good with that pick. Wasn't it Fred? The trade did not work out for either side, as the Niners ended up selecting Solomon T., who became nothing more than a rotational defensive lineman at number 3 overall. As nobody, we couldn't get Myles Garrett. Of course, we would have. But we expected Solomon T. was going to be the bad dude that, was going to be almost as good as some people were thinking, was going to be every bit as good as Myles. Wrong. That deal was responsible for then Bears coach John Fox being fired after one season with Trubisky. Matt Nagy replaced Fox. General manager Ryan Pace, who orchestrated that deal, remains with the organization. The Bears did not pick up the 5th-year option on Trubisky, ending his run with the Bears after 50 starts in 4 seasons. He signed a 1-year contract to be Josh Allen's backup with the Bills to begin a sad chapter in his career. Can you imagine? You're drafted number 2, and then you're backing up Josh Allen. It's a wonder there's not any more drug overdoses or things like that amongst quarterbacks, So, fam, here's a question. Do we have a right with this move by the 49ers to expect success? Are you expecting success? Do you have any fears of past history? Are we going to be okay? If you had to do it again, would you do it? Any reservations whatsoever? I'd love to hear those. Mario Perez. What up, Robbie? Money Mac Jones beat Lawrence at rival quarterback challenge in high school. See, those are things that, those are things you can't. You never know how much one develops beyond that time period. So Kyle probably knows about that too. Astro World, some Ronbo move, much love from a Dolphins fan. Well, hello, Astro World. And Zoe81, hey, Niners for life. Can't wait for the April 29, 2021 draft day. Let's go! Fields or Lance. You would think, right? If I had to bet money, and I quit betting, but if I had to bet, I would say it is going to be Fields. I can't imagine, if for no other reason, Kyle does not follow what the analysts are telling him to do. Even if he was going to do Money Mac, he wouldn't do it now just because, man, they think they know me. They don't know me. 49ers Ultimate Report. Thank you, fam. Kyle will Justin Fields pro day. Yeah, by the way, that's true. Kyle and John will both be rumored to be on hand for that. Paul Third. Hey, thanks, Paul. Sup? Ronbo, I know those teams that traded up were struggling before they traded up. Those rookie quarterbacks weren't set up to succeed. 49ers are. True, but all it takes is a quarterback that's missing assignments, not able to keep up with the guys already on the field. Still could result in a big mess. I really, it could be. Mahomes might have been fine in Kansas City. I watched him. I didn't think anything of him that year, though. Didn't know who he was, who he was going to be. Hey, John.
Ronbo.
John. The history of drafting up to get a quarterback in the first round, especially in the top 2 or 3 or 5, has been one of complete disaster on more than one occasion. John, do you have any fears? Are the 49ers, are they pretty much going to be okay?
Yeah, like when you look at the NFL draft, I was watching on another YouTuber who covers the Denver Broncos, and he was going through the last 20 years of quarterbacks, and he was ranking, and there were 5 draft classes where all the quarterbacks were bust because when teams draft that high with quarterbacks, those teams are bad. The 49ers have been set up. It's just that Jimmy Garoppolo has not been healthy. Just imagine if in 2018 Jimmy Garoppolo never had the ACL injury, or this year he didn't have any of those high ankle sprains. We would not be talking about a quarterback. The 49ers, would not have the number 12 pick. They would be probably where all the playoff teams
30,
were. So,
yeah. True.
So for us, whoever we draft, Trevor Lawrence, he's going number one unless the Jaguars are cuckoo and they take somebody else. And Zach Wilson, if all the things are coming up that they're moving, buying a house, Zach Wilson's going to go over there. You have to pick the best available quarterback, which is Justin Fields. I'm a Trey Lance guy, but Justin Fields
It's probably the best.
would come in. Yeah, he would come in. He would learn, and if, that's the reason why they have, that quarterback in case Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt. And he's not going to come in week one. Jimmy Garoppolo can, have a good record, and then say like week 8, week 9, Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt. That rookie has had enough time working with, because they're also going to be working with the number one offense during the practices, because that's why they did what they did. So I'm not worried. Like if the 49ers were like a legitimate number 3 overall pick and we were like, 3 and 13, yes, that quarterback is not going to succeed. So for me, we have to be realistic and just say, whoever comes in, and on draft day, a lot of people are going to be really pissed off because their quarterback is not going to be the one picked. But whoever that quarterback is, they're going to learn, they're going to take their time, and if they have to come in this year, they'll be ready.
Hopefully. Yeah, that makes sense. They did that with Mahomes his first year. He came in here and there for a few minutes to see what he looked like. So there's ample opportunity to check him out under Alex Smith. So, yeah. So the 49ers are smart. That's what I'm saying. Even with a good team, you don't want to just bring a kid in and throw him into the fire to get baptized right away. That could be a traumatic experience for him, especially if he gets dropped on his butt the first few series. And it's, even your Justin Fields, this ain't NC2A no more. So, yeah.
Yeah, so, this notion that, rookie quarterbacks, need, time to come in is that it's a very rare breed where, a quarterback can succeed. Like the best example, was, in 2014, like all those quarterbacks, won, I think I don't know how many Super Bowls, I think 4 Super Bowls between 3 quarterbacks. And even Phillip Rivers had a successful career. Then you look at Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco, they had good support casts, and then of course Russell Wilson and of course Dak Prescott, had really good support casts. So rookies can't come in if they beat out the veteran quarterback in preseason. That's why preseason is going to be very important, because say Jimmy Garoppolo has a decent preseason, but whoever that rookie is has an extremely good, preseason. Kyle Shanahan has to make the tough decision, and you never know what could happen. So for me, like I said, if we were a legitimate 3 and 13 team picking at number 3, yes, our quarterback's going to be a bust, because all those other quarterbacks, teams traded up, wasted a lot of draft picks, and look at all those in the last 5 years. Many of the quarterbacks who have been drafted are basically average at best quarterbacks or with other teams. And then we still have to evaluate the recent quarterback, because we don't know what's going to happen. So for us, we're at a really good prime position. Plus, just name all the players we got back at free agency. It's true. They believe that they can win with this team.
Yeah, there you go. It is a good policy. What was that the Red Rifle? What team did he just go to? Did he go to the Eagles? The Bears.
Which quarterback? The Bears?
Yeah. Who they just pick up
Trubisky?
from Dallas? No, the guy they just picked up from Dallas. They used to do this.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah. Did he end up with the Bears?
Yeah, Andy Dalton went to the Bears. And speaking of Andy Dalton, when he went to the Bengals, he had a decent rookie, a rookie year, and he was drafted in the second round. So if you do land at the right spot, that rookie can be successful. So,
Yeah.
like I said, there's a lot of examples, but it's true. No rookie quarterback has won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's probably going to continue to be the case. Anyway, all right. No, I was going to mention, you pick up Dalton and you draft a quarterback. Now you got somebody out there that knows what they're doing, at least until that rookie can be brought up to speed. Bears are probably going to do that. John, let me see you this Saturday or Friday. Yeah, weekend. Yeah, Friday.
All right, Ronbo, I'll see you on the weekend. And just like your boy Norm, Niners all day.
Night, fam. Oh yeah. If you get caught spamming, remember, if you're a newbie, don't spam. We're gonna have to give you either timeout or take all your stuff down. Hey, there's Morgan we've not seen in a while. Morgan.
Hey, Ronbo.
Morgan, how you doing?
Sorry,
tonight,
man. I've been working.
Yeah, all
good.
right. You know.
Good. Yeah. No, I
okay.
got back to work, so the weekends have been tough.
Yeah. Well, it adds to the cash flow. Nothing wrong with that. So Morgan.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
History says those drafting up for quarterbacks is normally a no-no. We're in a good situation, as most people know.
Yeah,
that, you don't have to worry about that.
I think it's 2 out of 5, right?
Is that what
two
it
out
is?
Of, like
2 out of 5
40%.
succeed. Yeah.
2 out of 5 of these guys are going to hit if 40% stands, right? And I mean, they could all hit, and another draft they could all miss, right? It's not always the same draft, but it's around 2 out of 5 of guys in the first round. So thinking that way, Trevor Lawrence is probably an automatic hit. Most people think. I mean, that is a tough franchise to go to, but he's such a good talent that he's gonna shine. So Shanahan's got to pick the right guy out. The one guy out of these 4, he's got to. Or actually, no, not even
the stat
because the Jets. Yeah. So I mean, and it could go. We're in one of the best situations because we have a good team already and we have a good coach. I think the Jets could ruin somebody. So, right, if they end up getting Wilson, they could ruin him. Right, that's not a great situation to go into, even though they've got a good coaching staff.
But if you had to bet in the top 3, and it is Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, which one automatically would you expect to fail? I think it would be Wilson.
I think Wilson.
Yeah.
I think so. I think Fields has a good floor, right? I like Fields' floor. Problem is, I don't want to draft a guy for his floor. We got Jimmy Garoppolo, who's got a pretty good floor already. Mm-hmm. I want Trey Lance because I think Trey Lance, I think he could have one of the highest ceilings, right? Besides Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
And I think I think that's right. You already have a top 12 to 15 quarterback. If you are trying to replace him, get a guy you feel could be top 5, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and you come into a program that's struggling, and they're still building.
Yeah.
And there's your poor Zach. And he's going to get blamed for failures. That's the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback, then the coach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're looking good. I still think it's going to be Fields because everybody is saying, all right, Jones to San Francisco. Do you believe it?
I don't think it'll be Jones. I don't. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean,
I won't either.
Right?
But
I think
don't expect
because I've been shocked by these guys throughout this offseason, right? Every move they make is like, oh my God, they don't leak. You don't know what they're doing. Every year you don't know this 49ers front office, they don't leak information. I mean, so it could be any one of those guys, right? Yeah, exactly. That's on purpose. Yeah, it could be anyone. I'm hoping Trey Lance. I wouldn't mind Fields. At 3, I'd be a little bummed for Jones, but I'm going into this with Kyle. I trust you. Do what you're gonna do. Pick your guy, but it better work out.
But Morgan, how do you trust Kyle? I mean, Kyle, C.J. Beathard was still his guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
I mean,
wait. Let me correct that because later on it was said that Kyle knew he was training.
I don't think he meant for C.J. to be his because they didn't get they got him in the 3rd round. C.J. Yeah, I don't think he ever thought C.J. was going to be the guy.
He was. They were going to train him up for a draft pick later because he's going to be a career backup. And I remember reading about that too. Kyle knew he was going to be a career backup.
But Kyle, for the longest time, he wanted
Kirk
Cousins. So he wasn't even looking at. I don't think if he was looking at quarterbacks, who knows if he would have gotten Mahomes or or Deshaun. And I mean, I guess we can be glad he didn't get Deshaun, but
he wasn't getting.
But he could have got Mahomes.
Well, no, but Mahomes came from an offense he didn't like. Even Jimmy did not do a lot of snaps under center coming out of Illinois. It's really interesting what Kyle looks at. You come from a pro spread, he's going to love you. This is the only thing that's going on with Fields that you wonder about. But then I saw something about him. The guy's razor sharp. His mind is like a trap. So he's
a really smart guy. I really like Fields. I think the floor is high. I just don't know that the ceiling is higher than Lance. Yeah. So, and it's a real good system. So you can't scout the guy for the system, but I just think you can get you might be able to get a top 5 talent out of Lance. And I don't know what you can get out of Fields. I don't know that you can get a higher ceiling than you have right now.
Well, look out. Lance played in a pro form set. It still is on the table as far as people are making bets. Lance ain't out of this. So
no, Lance. I think he has got a good chance. And like I said, Jimmy's not a bad quarterback. So you don't want to get a guy who's
you don't have to be desperate.
Just
you don't have
the
to
same.
Hurry.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And if you want Mac Jones, you could probably trade down to like 7 and try to recoup some of your picks, right?
There you go. Options are all over the place. We got to roll. We'll see you Friday.
All right, we'll see you Friday, Ronbo.
All right, man. Great to hear from you. Yeah. Don't overwork yourself. Don't get tired. Bye, Morgan. Oh, good. And it's Niner by nature. Thanks, family. Here to pay my taxes. Hashtag draft Justin Fields. I really think it's good. It's got to be Fields. Get your groove on says, what if the Jets take Fields? Which is what I would expect, but the Jets have already done too much. They've bought the boy a house, made everybody known or set him up, and then you're gonna go back and get Justin. I can't imagine them, but they are the Jets. Will 49ers select Zach, Pretty Boy Wilson, or Mac Dad Bod Jones? They would throw a wrench into the 49ers' work because I think the 49ers have figured out what they're gonna do. Of course, our guys always have a plan B. So would they take Zach? Probably. Nah, Trey's in then. Dre from San Francisco. Dre, come on in, man.
What up, Ronbo?
Dre, man, we're looking at history and thinking, uh-oh. At the same time, though, it's easy not to get scared. But, Dre, are you confident? No nerves, nothing about drafting up and picking a quarterback?
I'm nervous as hell. I'm nervous as a hooker in church.
Sweat rolling down her head.
I don't know what. I agree with the last caller on something, but some of the things he said at the end, I don't know. Look, I don't trust Kyle as far as I can spit. And look what he done did to. You see who he done traded. This man. You see what he done traded, and then you hear in the rumors that he wants to draft Mac Jones, even though he said he never said nothing. He said it personally. He came out on the record and said he never said anything. He never even said who he was looking at. And you're hearing a bunch of rumors, and then you hear the coaches come out and say they never said anything. Like they were saying that Sabian was talking to Kyle, and he said he never said nothing to Kyle besides Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
He said Kyle was poker face the whole entire time. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm kind of confused. But then again, if you are trying to draft Mac Jones, and if he does, I'm trying to just wrap my mind around it. I'm trying to just say, look, he's going to draft Mac Jones, and don't be expecting nobody different. Just expect Mac Jones, and it'll be a blessing.
And then you get excited.
If you draft anybody else.
Yes. Then you expect the worst, and if the better happens, then you jump up and down, But every time you hear about Mac Jones, that boy's got all kind of things going on good. Rarely do you hear anything bad about Mac Jones. You hear bad things about Trey not being inexperienced. You'll hear bad things about Lance having a good year in 2019. A terrible year in 2019 and good in 2020. You'll hear about Fields having issues with staring people down and everything, but it was more to do with his offense than anything else. So, anything about Money Mac, nothing bad.
I mean, Money Mac, I see it for myself. If you can't see it for yourself as a coach, and I'm not a coach. If they can't see it for themselves, he's slow. He can't move. He's like a Statue of Liberty. He's standing there. Somebody passing the ball, he could throw. I can tell you that. But he just stands there. He moves one way, stand there, throw. Stand there, throw. Stand there, throw. I said, you know what? This dude going to get shredded.
Yeah.
He going to get shredded. This league is moving towards a mobile quarterback league. Do you see Bosa coming off our edge and Joey Bosa in San Diego? Do you see all these people coming off the edges here? We can't afford to even look at a person that's just going to drop back, throw. I need somebody that's going to drop back, scramble, run. Can't nobody run that fast. I know we got some fast receivers, but they can't run that fast where you stop back twice, you stop back, throw. It's not happening. Can't nobody run that fast. I don't even think Tyreek can run that fast. He can run.
Yeah, him and Marquise. This is why, you know what, though? That's why people adopted Kyle Shanahan's offense and running the ball more. See, because what people need to get used to, the running back's about to make a return. Because that pressure, offensive lineman, there's just not enough premier offensive linemen in the NFL, Dre. You can stop all that heat coming off them edges. So,
It really isn't, but at the same time, our offensive line, he better take it to consideration because I've been hearing some things. I heard if he don't get this pick right, he ain't going to be having a job. That's where all this came from.
Wait, Kyle?
That's what I heard. Yeah, no, really? I heard that.
No, seriously.
He said Jed said he ain't going to have no job. He said they came up there and that because Jed said he wasn't satisfied with Garoppolo, but he wasn't willing to get rid of him. So what this did was they satisfied Jed, but at the same time, Jed gave them an option. Fix it. Fix it now. You want to draft? Go ahead and draft. This is all the years that y'all going to be here. And if you don't get this right, y'all gone. Well, not y'all. Whoever came in there and asked him. And I believe it was Kyle because I'm hearing Kyle has control over the draft taking. But
Kyle's the boss. John's just up there to assist him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. I believe if it was Lynch that went there and put his neck on the line, then it would have been different. You know what I'm saying? It would have been Fields because Lynch is more of a.
Yeah.
I think Kyle's gonna ruin us. Everybody, Kyle's gonna ruin us. I have this feeling.
Maybe.
I'm not gonna even eat that day.
Let's see what happens.
I'm not gonna even eat that day.
No,
I've been nightmaring Ronbo.
You might be able
Ronbo. I've been nightmaring.
You might not pick Money Mac. It's not a promise. Listen, the media has went nuts with that. Kyle's not saying anything, but that's what's scary. He never does, though.
Yeah, but he never does. But I can't wait to see him after the 14th. I want to hear what everybody's going to say after April 14th when he goes meet up with Justin Fields, him and Lynch, and they go have their draft day together. I want to see what the media say then. Well, I want to see if they even going to be president.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of private, I heard.
They're not going to give up. You're not going to get anything from the conversations. You're not going to be able to draw any conclusions. You're going to be confused as much now or more than you are now.
Ronbo, what would you do? Would you be willing to take down number 10 behind you for Mac Jones?
No, I don't think Mac Jones. I really looking at Fields, I can see he is the most talented guy in the top 5. So you got to take Fields. But I don't know about Shanahan, and because he sees different things. But Dre, let me see it Friday. All right.
All right, I'll be in here, man. Everybody stay blessed and stay masked up so we can stay free, y'all.
Exactly. Right. Please. Thank you. All right, fam. Have a great night. And there's Wongate. He says the Jets will take Fields. According to his dad, John Lynch, Jittery G is traded, and we won't draft Macaroni Jones. Also, Deshaun Watson did nothing wrong. Deshaun, man, I think Nike said, Deshaun, that's it, man. He said his life is slowly being ruined. Poor guy. Hey, Steven.
Ronbo, hey, give me 1 second. All right. There we go.
All right.
All right. So what's the topic of today? The QBs, right? We're talking,
Yes,
about the draft.
we're looking at the history of drafting up to get your quarterback, and watching them drop like flies down through the years. You do better if you just draft a quarterback actually the second or third round, or if your pick is at the middle of the first round and you pick okay. But you got to be careful with that. But did the 49ers go 2 first-round picks and a third? Did they step in an area of like a bridge over quicksand? And I'm talking about a paper-thin bridge.
To be honest, we did. I'm not going to lie to you because it just seems, man, Ronbo, these QBs just sound too good to believe in. Like I said the last time we spoke, college QBs compared to NFL QBs, that's a whole different animal. That's a whole new jungle for them. Yep. You're basically throwing them to the fire. Mm-hmm. Whether they make or break is entirely up to, the person. Mm. But we kind of jumped the shark, but I trust Shanahan and John Lynch to draft enough protection for our rookie QB or for Jimmy Garoppolo to make sure that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they seem like they have it all under control. They know what they're doing. They barely said anything this entire draft. We've heard, people from the Patriots say something. We've heard Jets say something.
Constantly.
We've even heard, everybody else. But so far, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch haven't said a damn thing.
Other than we're drafting a quarterback, and with with York's endorsement, we're still keeping Jimmy G. That's the only thing they've been saying over and over. Yeah.
And I'm waiting. Another thing I'm waiting for is when everyone stops hating on Jimmy G, because it feels like now the entire team has already come out and said, the whole locker room has come out and said, Jimmy G's our guy.
I know.
So I don't know if it's going to trickle down to the janitor, cleaning Santa Clara saying the same thing, but who knows? It seems like everyone in that stadium says that's our guy. But, drafting the QBs this early on, I don't know, Ronbo. It just seems, at first I was confident about it, but the last time we did such an early draft, it's blown up in our face quite a lot. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because we look back at the QBs we had that we were all excited for, like Beathard, Blaine Gabbert, Nick Mullins, Alex Smith. Yeah. We don't have a good track record in QB since Joe Montana and Steve Young and Jeff Garcia, my bad. So we don't have that great of a track record.
And Joe came in with Steve Spurrier. The thing is, at least they came in behind somebody. So you bring them along to see if they are legitimate NFL quarterbacks. And I think that's what Kyle and John are thinking. All right, we bring this kid in. We still got Jimmy. We know we can win. Let's see what we got here. And then when Jimmy becomes too expensive, which he's going to be, then we bring the new kid in. That's the way that works normally. So.
And if, let's say, Jimmy G pops off this year, man, that rookie is going to probably stay behind Jimmy no matter what. Because they're obviously going to re-sign Jimmy. Yeah. If Jimmy G says, you know what, I'm going to do great this year, I'm going to take us to the Super Bowl, and we might go all the way. We're destined. We're headed in that direction again, which feels great if we can stay healthy.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't stay healthy, obviously the rookie's going to come in. My thing is, though, we re-signed Josh Rosen to a 1-year contract. Where is he going to come into play? We have the new rookie. We have
Jimmy, the new rookie, Rosen,
G.
and Sudfeld. Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson's probably the odd guy out, but they need to keep him so he can train the defense. But you don't keep a quarterback to train your defense.
Yeah. So we've got, like you said in that post, there shouldn't be a single wide receiver that can't catch the ball. Yeah. And we shouldn't have a season where we don't have a QB. We have more able bodies throwing the ball than we ever could have imagined.
Stop dropping the ball, Niners. Stop dropping the ball. Because the first guy to get in trouble is going to be the quarterback, right? So you know what? Stop dropping them passes.
I don't think we're going to have any receivers drop any passes because we already got rid of 2 receivers that would. So I think we'll
KB. Who's the other guy? Trent? No.
Yep.
Taylor never,
no. Dante Pettis? Yeah, so that was another guy, too.
Dante.
Yep, so
look
two
out.
guys that dropped it.
Yeah. Pettis is cautious.
I feel like, I'm a Justin Fields guy. I'm also, I'm on the fence between Justin Fields and Zach Wilson. I like them both, but Zach Wilson gets really uncomfortable under pressure. Not Trent, but Justin Fields, he can run. But my thing is, how good is he able to scramble, and how good is he able to read the field? Zach Wilson's good at reading the field. He's good at reading the writing on the wall. But you get in his head, that's done and over with. He's out.
So you can't.
We'll find out.
And in the pros, your head's going to be occupied all day long. Everybody's good now. Everybody's good compared to what you just came from.
Exactly.
We'll see. Steve, good stuff, man. We'll see you Friday, okay?
I'll see you Friday, Ronbo. Good talking to you.
Thanks, man. Same here. Night. And Tommy Huxley says, Sudfield, Sally Fields, he was a 6th-round pick. And I think he got traded to Philly. I forgot from where. And he just sort of hung out there for a while. 49ers also reports says free agent Richard Sherman believes in Jimmy G. Now, you're not going to catch anybody that played with Jimmy G that doesn't believe in him, even in a joking fashion. But then when you say that, what else they supposed to say? If I don't like somebody, I ain't saying nothing. Especially if media comes by and asks me. So, hey, Ronbo, what do you think about Jimmy G? Who? Your quarterback. Oh yeah, you know what? I ain't got nothing to say. I just, you know what? I'm on my way to get a drink of water. Y'all take it. You're not gonna go out and strain up something nice to say. Nobody does that. Emilio.
What's happening?
Emilio, man, we're looking at the situation as it is. As you know, the boys, we don't be doing stuff like this. We ain't did nothing like this in a long time. We did take up and just drop off 1 first-round pick. We said goodbye to 2 years worth of draft picks looking like the LA Rams. He said, take a 3rd, too, baby. And so now this better work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to... Yeah, go ahead. Do you have any...
Let me say, cut that out. Hey, man. Don't you know better than that? Don't ever compare it to the sorry-ass Rams. What's wrong with you, Ronbo?
I'm just saying what they be doing.
Come on, man. I gotta call you out. Don't ever. You got 31 other teams, and you want to pick the Rams. Come on, Ronbo.
I'm using it for a bad example. You can always use the Rams for a bad example. When you need a bad example, Emilio, think about the Rams, and then use Rudy too. No matter what the conversation is, you got the Rams and Rudy.
You could have went with Arizona. I mean, God,
yeah, they screw up too.
The Rams. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I hope it works. You know what? Because I like John and Kyle. I want to see, because Jed would be forced. They forced his hand. And now I read that article. I said, damn, this is true. You can't casually do something like that and let it slide if it don't work. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
No, I mean, we've all said, now you didn't said it before, and we've all thought, like, hey, if this doesn't pan out, they'll get, let's say something goes on this year. They won't be on the hot seat this year. But trust me, if they mess up 2 years in a row, yeah, they're both gonna be. Shanahan will go first before Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if this doesn't pan out as much as we all wanted to, yeah, you're gonna. I give Shanahan 1 year, maybe half another one. Like I said, barely 2 years. This doesn't pan out. Yeah, you got to go, buddy. Because as much as everybody wants to rag on Jim, and he's been there as long as he's been, only had one good season. You got to put Shanahan in there. They both had one good season together. This does not pan out either way. Shanahan, you got to go. As much as we say he's a quarterback guru, he's a great offensive coordinator, can call play. Dude, one season don't cut it. It just does not. That's why I've been pissed off about it before. Even when we lost the Super Bowl, I said, come on now. You know, it's not honestly all his fault. Yes, defense let up, but it's just like, come on. There was no way that you should have let that even if it was all the defense giving all their points, there's no way that you got to go 3-0 in the Super Bowl and lost the Super Bowl. Either way, But that's that's in the past. Like I said, if he doesn't make sure this pans out, he knows he's in trouble. You gave up all the draft capital, especially because what they're thinking, okay, we get the quarterback, let Jimmy play, even if it's not the whole year or the whole year, bring in the rookies, let him start, and it works. And if it doesn't, those draft picks are going to be a pain in the ass because they're going to be in the top 10s, and Jed York is going to have a fit. So it's just like I know how they think. They're thinking like, okay, well, if it pans out, then those number one draft picks will be in the top 20s. It won't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, in the bottom 20, so it won't matter. So this is one that has to work.
You gotta have your heart has to pump ice water, running that kind of risk. This is why Trent Baalke was the king of, I can sit back and relax. I ain't did nothing to get myself in trouble but lose. You lost too many times, Trent. I guess you played that out.
No, it's like I said, you can go the same route. That might help you too. But then if you're not signing nobody, like Baalke didn't do nothing, he was just trying to do the whole draft because he got that bad idea from Seattle. See how far he got Seattle. Seattle only got them one Super Bowl, and that was it. So. Like I said, it can work, but those are like long shots too, trying to build everything through the draft. You have to do both. You have to sign players in free agency, unrestricted free agents. You got to do undrafted drafted players. You got to do the draft. You have to do it all if you're really trying to build a top team. You see how it was done in the 80s with the Niners. It's somewhere in the 90s, and we fell off. But like I said, you have to go through the draft. You have to go through the free agency. You got to go all over the place to get your players if you really want to play a top caliber team at all times, even a winning one. You see how the Patriots did it for 10 years, for 20 plus years. They became all-star team. They were just signing players here and there. It didn't matter if they went to the Super Bowl or not. For the most part, they did, but it was just having a winning team.
And would excuse a good player in a heartbeat. Didn't matter to him. You got to run that organization with a hard philosophy. Don't deviate, and you got to stick to what you do. And now Belichick, if he loses next year after doing what he just did, signing all them, they ran the book. Every last dollar was used on them free agents. If he loses like he did last year again, Belichick, his number will be up too. You get 2 years.
But you think about it, but the only thing I see with the Patriots, why they even lost a lot, you know how we went through COVID, a lot of these players sat out, so it's like half their team sat out. So
that's true.
They might be different this year, so I don't see them really.
You're right.
Part like they did last year.
And every team gets a bye pretty much from last year. Family, immediately we're going to go. Good to hear from you. As usual, our conversations are always fun now. Remember our other conversations? Phil!
It was like it used to be before. We were just against each other because I thought one quarterback was better, and then I said this player sucked, and you said it was good.
And I said you was picking up my team.
Eye on it. Now we're actually eye to eye, and we're doing a lot of stuff.
All right, Milo.
Maybe sooner or later it might change again, and we might go at each other's throats again. But hey, you never know.
I'll never go up against you like that again. Fam, let's see you Friday, though. All right.
All right.
All right, Bill. Night. It's... Hey, Norm. It's...
Niners all day.
Norm is rolling down the road, singing like Willie Nelson. Norm, come on in next. We're looking at the risk involved in trading. John they could cold feet at the last minute, and the 49ers select, and everybody has to wait. Kyle Pitts. Hey, I thought this was getting a quarterback. They cowered it out at the last minute.
It's going to be hilarious once the 49ers have released the entire NFL from this genjutsu. It's going to be hilarious. And, I'm going to keep talking about this genjutsu until it has been released, because this is exactly, you know what? I've seen a lot of reports, and one report that stood out to me, and this was from outside the franchise. I usually don't listen to those. But this guy said, Kurtenbach. Does everybody know what Kurtenbach is? I'm sure y'all talk about a lot of these guys, whoever that is. He said the 49ers have the NFL fooled as far as this NFL draft.
Kurtenbach's a writer, right? The name, yeah, okay.
So he just, I guess he pulled the Kurtenbach on everybody's eyes, you feel me, just to show y'all what was going on and tell y'all like, hey, I think everybody in the league is being fooled. And it's really not so much the fans. I think it's these other teams, that, they talking, these GMs is out here putting all their business out there on the street. And John Lynch and them is like, don't even tell our assistants nothing. Don't tell anybody nothing. I like it that way.
That's their style. They do that every year.
And, and everybody's on speculation mode right now. So it's like, I think it's a good problem for the Niners. They got all this attention right now. And either way it goes, it's like I hear a lot of people say it, they in a winning position. They putting themselves in a position to win for not just a year or a couple years. They trying to put themselves. I think they putting themselves in a position to be a consistent contender. You feel me?
Yes.
And that's what it's like. It's like somebody said before. You keep Jimmy, you get the quarterback in here, get him ready, and then when Jimmy G comes too expensive, you all right. Well, let somebody else get a good deal on him. Boom. Or if I don't know, you don't know what these guys are finna do, and that's why John Lynch's hairline is the only one speaking, and nobody else hears it. I'm still trying to figure it out, but that's pretty much it. That's all I know.
Norm, there is something to be said about that. But at number 3, what games do you need to play to reach what end? This is the only thing I don't understand. And even the Jets, what's with letting everybody know we're looking at real estate with Zach Wilson's family? These are things that you don't need to tell everybody unless you're doing. It's just a method to some kind of madness. I don't understand.
That's what the genjutsu, I believe, is that you get people's eyes over here to keep them away from over here where you're really at. You keep them over here where they say you are, where you last were. It's like I take an Instagram post, right? To say it says this location is at Venice Beach. A lot of my ops would probably think that I was at Venice Beach at the current moment, and then try to be at the house where I really am, or try to go to Venice Beach and catch me, which I'm not there. I'm at the house now. That picture was from 3 days ago.
Norm, you've been making women mad. That's one of them tricks you pull on women that are trying to see if you're messing up.
I ain't gonna say nothing about that because I'm not in the position that some people are in.
But you came up with that scenario too easily.
Right. But you know what? I just want the fans to just, really just get a little more confident about how this franchise is working, because either way, it's just, I don't see it set up to crumble unless, and I just see it as a calculated risk. And I just think this franchise in the last couple of years has been doing that lately, been taking more calculated risk.
Yeah.
Versus
this being the top. Yeah.
Yeah, versus the last administration we have, there hasn't been so many calculated risks. It's just been a lot of flumbers and a lot of fumbles of the bag, stuff like that. This time around, you take calculated risks, and as long as everybody in the front office ain't worried, then it don't matter how the rest of the league feels.
Nate, Norm, if the Jets do renege on what they look like they're going to do and say, Jets select Justin Fields, can you see not only us, but mouths dropping? You could hear everybody's mouth hit the floor at the same time. So many that you could hear it all over the world. What? Okay.
Yeah.
What do we do now?
And what if that was their plan the whole time? You never know.
Yes. And they never showed any of Zach's family any houses. That was just something the media put out there, but there was never anything to confirm that. And then somebody say later, nah, we didn't meet with Zach's parents. We didn't start that, so we're not responsible.
They're not letting their right hand. They're not letting their left hand know what their right hand is doing. And that's awesome. That is a brilliant plan.
These are options open. Norm, we go. Hey, Norm, I'll see you Friday, and we'll continue with the days of our lives and starring 49ers.
And you know what tomorrow's going to be, right? Let it worry about yourself. But until then, it's Niners all day. Shout out to the whole empire, man.
There he goes, riding in his off sunset. Norm! Oh, God. We go through these games every year. You never really wrap yourself around it because you don't know what they're doing, and it's always perplexing to the even the above average mind. 49ers Ultimate Report says Norm at Norm Niners all day. Norm, you got a huge fan in Ultimate 49ers, otherwise known as John. Curtis McLeod says Nate Sudfeld ran a 4.93 at his pro day. He competes with Rosen for number 3 quarterback, and Kyle still wants pocket passers, so unfortunately, we're drafting Mac Jones. Hey, listen, when your ass is on the line, you better go for what you know. Actually, when you think about it, that is not, Curtis, thank you for the contribution. Curtis is not so far off the track. Kyle, listen, I'm going to come in and experiment with something I don't really like to do with. Y'all better try to relax. I'm taking Mac. What? Really? Kyle, shut up. I'm in charge. Hey, Brittany.
Been a while.
How you doing, Brittany?
It's been a while.
Yes, it has. Things have settled down and be comfortable so you can call in. We're delighted.
Yeah.
Brittany,
It's
Curtis.
been a while, Ronbo.
Let's not have that happen again, okay? Be regular because we worry about you. But Brittany, Curtis just sent a message that kind of rang. I mean, my head is still ringing because you and I probably believe that Mac Jones is probably not the best idea at number 3 when you look at the talents in the top 5, right? But Kyle has just given up a couple. And the theme of this show tonight is, did the 49ers go too far by trading those 2 picks and putting themselves at risk should this fail? If you're Kyle Shanahan and this is the case, are you going to go work with something that you normally don't like to work with and pass up on Mac Jones to bring in Justin Fields or Trey Lance or anybody else for that matter? When you know that dude in Bama, he checks all my boxes as Kyle Shanahan. Brett, give me some on this. What are you thinking? Kyle,
if I was in his shoes, I would take a risk and go for something new. I mean, don't get me wrong, pocket passers, but to try something new, I would go for it. And I mean, out of the QBs that you said, that's not Mac Jones. Out of them who you said, I would go for Lance.
You like
something about him shows that it's something about him that if he's in this system, if he's in Kyle's system, and Kyle works with Trey Lance, he's gonna explode. Yeah,
I've liked him the whole time. I'm with you. I just figure that they'd go for Fields.
I saw his pro day. I was like, if he's in Kyle's system while sitting behind Jimmy, I think when his time comes, he's gonna explode. I could see that. I could see that.
So, Brittany, you're ready for the Trey Lance name to be called on draft night. I am too, but everybody's made Fields look like Superman, or it's like Lee calls him Black Zeus, throwing lightning bolts. So the hype is starting to get to me. It's not bothering you though, is it?
I mean, I see all the hype for Justin Fields. I'm not gonna lie, he's amazing. He's great. I'm just not gonna get into it because it's not. My mind right now is not going to be fazed by it. Because even though you getting all this hype, are you sure that may translate into the league? Because we've seen college players who are fantastic in college, but as soon as they get into the league, they flop. You're like, wait, what happened? So that's why I'm not getting into the hype of Justin Fields. He's great, but I don't want to say anything if it's the opposite.
Because like you said, every year, next year, somebody's going to come in. The golden boy, this boy's going to come in a generational quarterback could dominate the NFL for years, comes in, and
yeah, and if Lance is on the team, and if Jimmy does get too expensive and he goes on, I'm fine with him taking over. Yeah. The thing is, though, if Jimmy gets expensive and leaves, he needs to go to another team that is also ready to win a championship, not a team that's failing.
He probably.
But the thing is, it's hard to tell which team is ready.
I know, especially a year or two from now.
Currently, right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like the only team is the former team, which I will not name, because he too is on the bubble. That team is too on the bubble as well. With right now the decision for a quarterback. So that's another time.
You lost me though, Britt. What team? You said another team is on the bubble?
Bill Belichick is on the bubble because of how he has drafted in the past. So he needs to get a future guy as well, because if not,
Billy Big. He went all out to get everything a quarterback needs, though. So it's going to be interesting to see what Belichick does in this draft.
He needs to follow example of what the Niners did. But don't take my advice. Yeah. I mean, we really need to knock it out of the park. I mean, it's like a 50-50% chance right now. So it needs to be knocked out of the park. But I still do agree with the previous caller. It's a genjutsu because they're not saying nothing. They rather keep it to a minimum and not tell nobody.
God, they're so good at that. You have no idea what they're going to do. So when everybody's arguing about and screaming and yelling, and then all of a sudden you'll see something else come up in your notification. There's something else to come in to counter that notification.
Right. You see, like, the back and forth. Like today, that signing of Nate Sudfeld. That was unexpected. I was like, wait a minute. Why are they signing him? We're at 3. What's
we got
the point?
4 now. And getting ready to pick up another one. What do we... Okay, Sudfeld's supposed to be... The writer said Sudfeld's in there probably to compete against Josh Rosen. Well, why does Josh Rosen need competition? We're not...
That's what I'm saying. He's already flying, so why does he need to compete for the backup? I'm confused.
We're not keeping 3 and 4 quarterbacks anywhere. So it made no sense. But you need camp arms. You need a lot of guys. And like I said, the more QBs I got out there training those guys, I don't want any drop passes here. I'm sick of that. Every year we get a guy, the perfect shot right to him. Oh, no, he did not drop that pass. See, so now they get a lot of work out.
I think Trent Taylor's gone.
I think so. We're not hearing
anything about him. No, good thing he's gone.
He was probably out. He can't get better. Brittany, great to hear from you. So now that you're back, don't be out too long. We'll be looking for you Friday.
Oh, definitely. I will be on Friday.
All right. You have a great night, man. I'll see you on Twitter.
All
right. Bye.
All right.
And Wangate says, personally, I like Trey Lance, but we're getting Wilson, according to my dad, John Lynch. Tacitus plus Josephus were born after Jesus was allegedly crucified. Josh, I saw you throughout the chat. He's on a roll of some sort. It's a big show with a big B and a big S. Trey Lance accuracy rates on 3/4 down, 59%. Mac Jones is at 74%. Justin Fields, 80%. Huge upside, yes, but a long project. Kyle doesn't want a long project. And Show, thank you for the contribution. Sometimes it's hard to try to think like Kyle. I get that all the time on Twitter. People trying to tell me what Kyle's thinking. I was like, how do you guys know? And speaking of Jesus, let's go to Jesus. I should have told. Now Wangate is going to go after Jesus. I can see right now. Jesus! Jesus. Jesus. Jesus will be back, I guess. Go back and see if we get it. Hey, Ryan!
Hey, Ronbo, it's great to be on again. It's been a while.
A long while,
Oh,
right?
I know things have gotten crazy.
They really have. In fact, I haven't talked to you since,
like,
Jesus, God, how long has it been? But Ryan, yes,
too
tonight
long.
we're looking at the fact that John and Kyle have went out and extended themselves to a point where failure is not something that's going to be easily accepted by getting rid of those 2 first-round draft picks. And history's already pretty much clearly stated that this is not a good idea. But then again, circumstances were different. Usually, when you traded up for a team, you were going to get a quarterback. There was a team that was in terrible shape, and they needed to start over again. So you bring some poor victim in out of college and have him get his brains beat out with the rest of the team. Like, hey, you look at Joe Burrow last year. They broke Joe up into pieces. Oh, my God. So, but we got a good team. Are you comfortable bringing in, knowing what's gone on in the past? Ryan, are you okay with what the 49ers done?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I had foreseen this happen. I went over this in my head for a while, and I knew that there was. Because this is one thing that I know how to do is I know how to evaluate quarterbacks. I mean, I projected guys like Pat Mahomes and obviously Russell Wilson and the guy out of Clemson, Deshaun Watson. I projected all those guys to do well in the NFL, and so far they've done extremely well. A couple of them obviously have won some Super Bowls, and I have faith that Kyle Shanahan knows what he's doing. He knows how to evaluate quarterbacks. And I do have faith that he will pick the right one. This is what I think. I believe that the Niners have their eyes on Zach Wilson because what a coincidence. They made a trade like right after his pro day in which they attended. And this is what I think. I believe that obviously the Jets interviewed him, and I believe that also the Niners interviewed
Right. The
Zach
background.
Wilson.
There's a lot of noise behind you. Can you mute that out?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go into another room.
Okay.
But this is what I think. A lot of people haven't taken this into consideration. Back in 2004, Eli Manning, he didn't want to play for the Chargers, and the Chargers ended up trading him to the Giants, and they ended up getting Phillip Rivers instead. And so it's not out of the equation that they sat down. Zach Wilson may have sat down with the Jets, and he probably told them, along with his father, that no, I don't want to play for you guys. In addition to that, many people, including myself, are really at odds with who the second best quarterback is. Some people say that it's Justin Fields. Some say it's Zach Wilson, and so I don't think I'm not ruling it out of the equation that the Jets. It's like this: if I was the Jets, both quarterbacks, and Zach Wilson, and if Zach Wilson said, you know what, I don't want to play for you guys. I would rather go to somebody else. And if Justin Fields was like, you know what, if you guys take me second overall, I'll play my ass off for you guys, and I'll be there. I'll be the first to I'll be the first at practice and the last to leave. I wouldn't think twice about it. I would select Justin Fields if I had that second overall pick, because why would you want to select somebody who doesn't want to play for you, especially when you have a guy who wants to play for you and who's considered by many experts to be the second best quarterback, because Justin Fields, in all fairness, he has a bigger body of work, and he's going to get tougher, stiffer competition than Zach Wilson. So in all fairness, you would have to concede that Justin Fields, he is the second best quarterback in this draft class when you look at his full body of work. And so
which is why,
I'm not ruling that out.
But one question, right? This is what I was asking yesterday in a post. I was asking, how is it that Wilson got ranked above Fields? And he is ranked above Fields by some. But from what you just said, that makes no sense. It was Trevor Lawrence and Fields have went back and forth beating each other for years. So obviously, both of them dudes are bad dudes, right? So Zach had one good year this past year. In 2019, nobody was talking about Zach. How did he get vaulted to where he is? And from what you're saying, you really think the Jets, they had that kind of conversation, do you?
Oh yeah, they definitely sit down and interview those players at those pro days. They definitely do.
But your assumption that Zach let him know that he didn't really care to play for him.
I'm not ruling that out at all because just look at history. It happened with the Eli Manning situation.
Yeah, I know. No, I realize that. I just thought you may have. I just wondered exactly how did you arrive at that conclusion that may have taken place? Just because of, do you think Zach doesn't really care to play for that team? And I'm just wondering where that came from.
It's just my assumption based on the fact that the 49ers, like right after, it was like, I think it was either the same day or the day after they went to Zach Wilson's pro day when they made the trade. And so I don't believe the 49ers would have made that trade unless they had a clear-cut conviction in their mind that Zach Wilson that he was going to be there at the 3 spot, because it's not out of the equation that the Jets could take Justin Fields based on the fact that just look at what happened just a few years ago. Everybody thought Sam Darnold was going to be the first overall pick, and on the day of the draft, look who turned up to be the number 1 overall pick.
Is that Baker?
It was Baker Mayfield.
I agree with that, Ryan, because that's what I've said. Where is it that Zach got moved past Fields and that the Jets would be taking him instead of Fields? And I kept wondering, why would they do that? Big Show says that Zach probably won't be able to handle the New York press. Does Zach look like he's equipped to do that? He does not, actually. But you can't be confused about that baby face either, though. Oh, man.
Exactly.
Brian, I want to hear more on this. Let's talk Friday. We're out of time now. But I like your theory on this. That's interesting. It's just more food for the thought for that night, But yeah, all right. Good to hear from you.
All right, then. All right, Ronbo, take it easy.
You too.
All right, take care.
All right, fam. Yeah, Ryan brings up pretty... Wouldn't it be funny if this is all a bunch of BS about the Jets driving the family around, wining and dining them and showing them places to live, and we pick up Zach because the 49ers knew that Fields was going to New York. Ooh. Remember, we unfolded that plot right here tonight on Ronbo Sports. Hey, it's the TNT lady herself, Denise.
Ronbo, what's going on? How are you?
Denise, we're getting all kinds of stuff here. Curtis starts with why would Kyle run the kind of risk of failure by picking up any other quarterback besides one he knows he can work with? And then you have this from Ryan. Talk about, it's interesting how they made that trade as soon as they talked to Zach. And maybe they want Wilson in the first place. It may have never been Justin. Can you imagine all these plots, these little subplots all around us, and we don't know which one's right?
Yeah.
Denise, it's a big risk, though. What are you thinking?
No, it is. Well, I think the Jets are taking Zach Wilson, but I think that because the GM was interviewed and he basically came out and said it.
Okay.
He, without coming right out and saying, I'm drafting Zach Wilson, he literally was like, well, yeah, we like Zach Wilson a lot, and we know who we're drafting. He basically came out and said that's who they're drafting.
There you go. Now, you would think, what would be the point of telling that bald-faced lie when you're drafting number 2? You're not getting Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. You don't need to pose and
exactly.
carry on. Yeah.
So, I like his theory. Hey, I like Zach Wilson, so I'm cool with that, but I don't think it's going to happen. But what's frightening is I'm starting to agree with people I hate, which is frightening because like Marcus Spears, Nick Wright, Stephen A. Smith, I'm like, you guys are starting to talk way too much sense for me, so I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, God.
Just
Lord help me.
Take a couple of aspirin.
Because all of them,
and lay down and relax. You'll be
have
okay.
said, all of them have said that if they're like Marcus Spears, Stephen A. Smith, Nick Wright, they're all like, Mac Jones is not worthy of the 3rd overall pick.
You would think.
Like, they're all saying it.
Everybody agrees. You didn't have to trade up to get Mac Jones at number 1,
Yeah,
and put yourself at that kind of risk. Yeah. So if you're going to give up all those assets, it better be one of the best you can get.
Exactly. And like, I agree, Trey Lance is a project, but if that is who they go after, that's the whole purpose of having Jimmy for the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can, let him sit and learn why Jimmy takes us to the Super Bowl.
And bring him along slowly, yeah. And let him learn how to be a professional. Exactly. Yeah.
And even, I'm cool with Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Like, that's who I want. And did you read the stuff I sent you? Like, Justin Fields scored higher than any other player they've ever tested.
Yeah, no, I listened to that whole thing. Yeah, that's why I got back to it. That's why I said this is really extremely important to Kyle Shanahan. You need to have an aptitude and a good football IQ to even grasp what Kyle is selling. Denise, this is why I always laugh when people say, man, all Kyle's going to do, anybody can run behind Kyle. All he's going to do is scheme things up. Duh. Do you know what it takes to learn to do a scheme? I get a kick out of people saying that. No, anybody can't do that. It takes a minute.
And that's why I said I don't agree. Because even Marcus Spears said, he said, you do not, he's like, I'm so tired of everyone saying that, Kyle's going to draft Mac Jones because he fits what Kyle likes to do. He's like, you do not draft players and give up 3 first-round picks for someone who fits your scheme. You draft for talent. You draft for the ceiling. And I'm like, amen, brother. That's what I've been saying all this time. Nobody listens.
See, but Denise, the only thing about that line of thinking is, does your idea of excellence match Kyle's? Because Kyle is a complicated man. If you try to figure out what he's liking and not liking, it could really burn some. You might have to get a new motherboard for the mind.
Trust me, I agree with you because, I'm sorry, I know Kyle thinks he can sit a dog behind center and they could make his scheme work. I know Kyle thinks he's the shiznick, which, Kyle, you are the shiznick, but sometimes you're not the smartest motherfucker. Oh, sorry. Whoop. Sorry, you're not the smartest guy in the room. Let me backtrack that a little bit. Sorry about that. I'm like, take in, I'm so glad to hear he's going to Justin Fields' pro day. And I know everybody says, you can't put any stock into pro days. I'm like, well, let's just put it out there that Macaroni Jones had 2, and he sucked at both.
Yeah.
He had 2 pro days, and and people can say, he's so accurate, he's so this, he's so that, whatever. He was throwing against air, and the boy was sucking big amounts of wind. Big amounts.
See, that's why. What's his name? He killed it his first draft pro day, right? I believe I heard. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God! Yeah, he was phenomenal. And by the way, did you see that clip? I don't think I sent it to you, but I just retweeted what someone else had posted. But they posted game film of Justin Fields, and he had people all up in his grill, and he was dropping dimes.
He's tough too. The guy can take a shot. But Denise, go ahead and finish it real quick because we ran out of time. But yeah,
and I was just going to say, if you go back and look at Mac Jones' film, yes, he's very accurate, but he also has a very clean pocket, and there is nobody up in his face.
And that ain't going to be the case in the NFL. Good stuff, Denise. We'll see you Friday, okay?
All right, Ronbo. Thanks for taking my call, and you have a blessed night.
Always a pleasure. Looking forward to hearing from you again soon. All right. Night, Denise.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. And there is the man that wants to challenge Tony. We're going to have to set that up, though. I'm going to figure something out here.
I will thank you. Get your butt over here.
What's up, Ronbo?
Shake him on in, man. We're talking about
How you doing?
running risk, and I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
But Shay, tonight we're talking about the risk of trading up into the first and the history behind trading up into the first round, especially in the top 3 or 4. You do better if you're going to trade up, come in from the back door, coming in around 32. But
right.
But Shay, that's neither here nor there. Things don't have to stay the same. What are you seeing here, Shay? Was it a risk? Do you appreciate what's going on here, or would you rather?
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, I mean, you got to use context for everything, right, Ronbo?
Sure.
And it depends on who they take. Like I said, shout out to Denise, First Lady of TNT. Shout out to her. But again, like everybody who's saying like no to Mac Jones and whatnot is pretty much everybody's saying the same thing. And when they're saying is why you don't take Mac Jones at 3, simply due to the fact that when you move future,
Shay, you're breaking up. Are you moving?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We lost you for about
hear me better now?
15 seconds. Yeah. Oh, I heard you good. All
15 seconds? All right.
Okay.
All right, is it better now?
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah, you got it.
It's a lot better now. Okay. Look, back to my point. Well, so my point is I was shouting out TNT Denise, right?
Yeah.
And pretty much agreeing with everything she said. And the consensus is the reason why a lot of people who don't want Mac Jones picked at 3 is simply due to the fact that you always go for the guy with the highest ceiling, right, Ronbo?
Sure.
And to me, when you give up and mortgage your future or 3 first-round picks, which is mortgaging your future, you go for the guy with the most transcending talent, which is a guy like Justin Fields, Zach Wilson even, or Trey Lance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the reason why people don't want Mac Jones is because if you look at Mac Jones, right, listen, I believe the guy's smart, but Fields is smart too. But the thing is, like, Mac Jones will never run a 4.4 in his life, right? He just doesn't have the athletic ability. He doesn't have the arm strength.
Yeah.
And my thing is if the 49ers wanted a comp like Mac Jones, well, you could have got, David Mills or Kyle Trask in the 2nd or 3rd round. You didn't have to give up the future to move up to 3. And that's why a lot of the 49er fans are just kind of like, no, like, we're sick. If I said, if Kyle drafts this kid, Mac Jones, there's going to be a huge target on his back. And it will be, I wouldn't say a lot of people will be disappointed, and it'll be up to obviously Kyle. He's piloting his own future for the 49ers as the head coach. And, he will either, hopefully it'll be right, because that means if he's right on Mac Jones, that means we are in, Super Bowl contention every year. But to me, it just doesn't make sense when you got guys like, Davis Mills from Stanford who can do the same thing. Again, they fit the same mold. They don't have, extraordinary arm talent. Actually, Davis Mills to me is a little bit more athletic. He ran a 4.58 in his pro day, so he can scoot a little bit. Or Kyle Trask is the same thing. And, like she said, Marcus Spears made it. Kyle Trask did the same thing that Mac Jones did, with just less talent. Yes, he had Kyle Pitts and Kadarius Toney, but the wide receiver. He had the trophy winner, Heisman Trophy winner, and Devontae Smith. Then he had Waddle for 6 games, and then he also had Najee Harris. To me, Kyle Trask and Mac Jones, to me, they're the same guy. They don't have incredible arm talent. They're not transcending players, but they go out there and they execute, which is what I think Kyle's looking for. But for everybody, or for Kyle, we're saying is, listen, and you don't play against, Russell Wilson, for 5 years straight and think that, okay, well, we got to go get Mac Jones. Or you don't play against Kyler Murray or Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson and think, or Josh Allen even, and be like, yeah, we're still going to go for Mac Jones. Like, no, these guys, right, had, everybody had concerns about their accuracy, them being able to read the field. But guess what? Their talent was still able to carry them. And then it came along with them. Josh Allen ended up becoming an accurate passer, right? He was averaging 58 to 56% in his first 2 years. Now, all of a sudden, he skyrocketed. Now he's averaging almost 70% accuracy percentage, right? And his talent is, he's becoming one of a better passer as he progresses throughout the NFL. But he also still has the same talent. He had the arm still. He still has the arm, Ronbo. He still has the ability to be mobile. Same thing with Watson. he's progressed as a passer, but he always had the legs, but he looks to pass. And to me, that just screams Justin Fields. Justin Fields looks to throw before he runs. And again, I don't get this. Okay, well, Justin Fields is a one-read quarterback, right? Or he takes too many sacks. So what does that mean? That means he's standing in the pocket. Isn't that what Kyle wants? He wants a guy who can stand in the pocket. Right. So I don't get, like, you know, these contradiction narratives that don't make sense. If he's reading the field for too long, well, isn't that what Kyle wants? A guy who can stand in there and read the field?
Keep your eyes downfield.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Exactly. So but yeah, Ron, but that's just my point. That I just think that if it's Mac Jones, you know, I'll be upset. But again, you have to have ultimately faith in Kyle. But so
we're gonna find out because it's hard to relax. And all these writers that are making these assumptions, it's hilarious. I said, what are you guys basing that on?
It is, Ronbo. They don't leak. They don't leak, Ronbo. That's the thing. They don't leak. So we'll see what happens, Ronbo, come draft day. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the 49er fans, whoever they draft, just have to get behind their guy, right? You have to get behind your guy.
You have to accept it and support him, hopefully.
No matter what. I mean, I know you will, Ronbo. I mean, because you're behind Jimmy too. So get behind their guy.
Jimmy's still a good quarterback. He gets hurt. But
I do agree too. I think Jimmy is too. That's why I don't like the Mac Jones, because
like his style.
Rumble, absolutely, Rumble. I'm like, why draft Mac Jones when I don't even think he might be better than Jimmy? Like, it just doesn't make sense. You could have gave a better player to Jimmy. Draft Kyle Pitts. Maybe if you get Kyle Pitts, Jimmy might soar too, because now he has 4 weapons out there: Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, and Pitts. Like, to me, it just doesn't make sense. But I know we got to go, Rumble. Exactly, it is. God bless you. Shout out to my TNT brothers. They know who they are. Everybody in the chat, Rumble. You have a good night, brother.
You too, fam. See you Friday.
See you Friday.
There he goes. Santana.
What's up, Ronbo? How you?
Santana, man, we're sitting here looking at history, like, you know, the fact of the matter is, trade ups for quarterbacks up in the top 5 have been nothing short of disasters. So, you know, here the 49ers are. Here we are in that position, and Santana, you believe in this move? Is it okay? Are we not worried about history? Do you have any reservations about this? Are you just hoping it succeeds? You trust Kyle and John to do the right thing? And do they have a plan? Do they know exactly what they're doing? Where are you at on this? Santana. Do we lose Santana?
Rumbo.
Oh, there you are.
Yo, Ronbo. I'm sorry, man. My bad.
No, we lost it for a second. Would you drop your phone?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Did you hear anything? Did you hear anything I just said though?
Oh yeah, man. The last caller said it all, man. I mean, couldn't have said it any better. But I mean, yeah, man. Like, come on, you know. I mean, Ronbo. I mean, Mac Jones, man. Look, this is the question I have, right? This is what I think. I mean, you got to face Kyler Murray twice a year. You got to face Russell Wilson twice a year. You got to face Matthew Stafford twice a year. You really want to take Mac Jones? You really want to take that risk, you know?
Okay, but here's the thing. When you use that comparison, because Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, you really can't. If you're saying that the mobile quarterback is the most feared quarterback in the league, okay, that's one thing. But to compare, you know, from one offense to another might be a better thing to do, Santana. So, you know, Kyler Murray, none of those guys went to the Super Bowl, didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, they did.
You know, so it's kind of hard to make that kind of comparison. But
yeah,
go ahead.
I know, but it's hard. Actually, I'm saying, like, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, but actually,
to face those guys
with
a quarterback like Mac Jones. Look,
Santana,
Mac Jones is cool. What's up?
No, actually, it was about
What's up, Ronbo?
The risk involved. It's 2 first-round picks, right, and a third. Yeah. And history has already said doing that could work out as a disaster because none of the guys that get traded up for like that in the top 3 or 4 are still playing in as far back as RG3. Well, they're still playing, but they're not the same team, or coaches got fired and stuff like that. Did John and Kyle put themselves in a position to get killed, or do you think it's going to be okay?
I think it's going to be okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've done their homework. You know what I'm saying? Because they said they were trying to trade like already a while back, right? And just recently they traded up. So I'm guessing they did I'm guessing they had to make their homework before they made the decision to trading up. I'm sure they know already who they want.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
they were
who
trying
they
to get
want.
that trade
they
in.
wouldn't have made that.
Yeah, they were trying to do that for 4 weeks before they even got it done. So that's true.
Exactly. So, and then this was way before they went to go see Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, or going to see Justin Fields and Mac Jones. So, I mean, yeah. Look. I'm gonna say this. I mean, Mac Jones is good, right? He's okay. I just like I wouldn't have an issue with if they would have stayed at 12, you know, and they would have picked up Mac Jones, right? Because I wouldn't have had an issue with that. You know, the issue I think with everybody is that they traded up and they give up a lot to move up for a quarterback that possibly could be, you know, at best a Kirk Cousins, you know, and the thing is, Ronbo, look, I mean, Kyle Shanahan, we've seen in the system that pocket passers, they do great, right? They get MVPs and stuff like that, and he's falling short, you know, even with Matt Ryan, you know, and so and with Jimmy G, so I mean, I don't know if it's time to switch it up a little bit.
Again, Brady was involved in Atlanta. Can you imagine? That's pretty funny. But both of them were pocket quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, he's falling short, you know, with the Falcons and the Niners with Jimmy G, and they're all pocket passers that, you know. So, I mean, is it time to maybe consider something different that can win you a game with the legs? Maybe get you in a crucial moment, a third down with the legs. You know what I'm saying? Have that option.
That's true.
Instead of just having the quarterback stand in the pocket, you know.
If
so,
Kyle is willing to bend his program in that direction, he's already said he doesn't mind having a mobile quarterback as long as the quarterback does have pocket skills, and Fields seems to have that from what everybody's saying. So
yeah, no, he does, Ronbo. He does. He definitely does. Yeah. So I mean, Justin Fields. I mean, for me, he's since high school, man. He's been a top prospect. I mean, you know, and he's had attention, you know, since high school, and so going up to college, the same thing. Goes to Ohio. You know, I don't know if he loses a playoff or a final versus Clemson. I think he lost versus Clemson, and then and then he was in line for the Heisman Trophy as a sophomore and lost to Joe Burrow, and then the next year he comes back again, you know, and beats Clemson, you know. So he has that attitude of like a winner, you know what I'm saying, not giving up, coming back, you know. So I mean, I kind of like that. And you know, when I saw Mac Jones pro day and Justin Fields, I mean, I saw Mac Jones, and I'm not hating on Mac Jones, but I just didn't see anything that, you know, you're interviewing for a job, and I just saw him jumping around out of this and that, missing throws. And when I saw Justin Fields pro day, that guy had a demeanor, and that he was there for business, you know. And you can see his presence, you know. You can see it, you know. And when Mac Jones, when I was watching Mac Jones, it was like, wow, who's that? That's Devontae Smith. What a stud, you know. And then Najee Harris, they stand out more than Mac Jones in his pro day. You see what I'm saying? And then when I watched Justin Fields just stood out to me. You know what I'm saying?
That's the reason why Mac didn't get the Heisman. They gave it to his receiver. Anyway, we're out of time. Good points. No, I mean, yeah, you finished your position well. No problem.
You know,
all right.
All right, man, Ronbo. You have a good one, man.
You too, fam. See you Friday.
All right, man. See you.
And Chris Wall, nobody said anything about Jimmy and Tom being the same quarterback. Where do you guys get this stuff? I never said anything like that. Big Show says, hey, please remind callers, it's about executing Kyle's offense. Just because we're at number 3 doesn't mean the pick is going to be the sexy pick. Show, have we defined yet as to what or who is the sexy pick? See, that's the thing, you know. Would it be amazing, though, if the Jets did take and do something that is not being predicted, like Ryan was talking about? That's hilarious stuff. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Ronbo. What's happening, brother?
Tony, man, we're looking at this pick, and somebody finally got around to saying, did the 49ers step out of bounds? Did they go too far, knowing that history reflects upon this being a big potential disaster? Because, you know, when you look back at the fails that have been drafted up for, and teams have given up all kinds of assets, it is a scary thing. But Tony, are you have enough faith in Kyle and John to know that they're doing the right thing and they'll be fine?
Well, if you made that mistake, Ronbo, you're up shit creek without a paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's white water, but poo-poo. I mean, it's raging.
Blows your next 2 years of getting another quarterback that you could have got. But anyway, Kyle, everybody knows. I mean, if you listen to his mate, what's his name, Chris Sims, I like the way he breaks down players and things like that. But if you listen to Chris, he always says that Kyle likes that robotic quarterback. Even if it was Patrick Mahomes playing for Kyle, he's still going to look like Jimmy G. Yeah. That's what he likes. That's what he wants. And Kyle's going to get what he wants.
See?
But if you want a scary stat, I was listening to it in the truck today. I was listening to the Herd. What's his name? Colin Coward. However you pronounce it. He gave the stat. He said since 2010, out of the 131 quarterbacks that were drafted, only 11 of them were successful. That's a scary stat.
Yeah, that is.
But, you know, Ronbo, look on the bright side. If this guy doesn't pan out, Jimmy G keeps his job.
Well, you know, the thing about Jimmy is he's only got 2 years with the organization because they can't really afford to carry him. As we're seeing now, if the newbie comes in and fails, and there's a large percentage of a chance that he will or can, it's not like he's just going to come in because we all love him or everybody else loves him. He's just going to star, and he could have a trouble. So Jimmy stays for 2 years, but after that, he becomes too expensive. And like you're saying, we don't have an option. It's either re-sign Jimmy for huge amounts of money that they can't afford, and that's why Jed's going to walk in and say, damn it, guys, I told you if this doesn't work, there's going to be a problem. This kid that you get picked up, he's not ready. He's not a quarterback team. We're going to go back to the dark ages, and I'm not signing Jimmy for $45 or $50 million. Can you see that conversation going on? And now what? Rebuild.
Well, the other thing is if this guy doesn't pan out and Jimmy decides to move on, I mean, you just send the team into rebuild mode, don't you?
Oh,
you don't want to lose the locker room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Scary.
But speaking of large amounts of money, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that the Cowboys are paying Prescott $75 million this year.
40 million.
That's true.
It's true. Tony, we were
How
laughing
can they
because we were saying,
$75 million? How can they pay him $75 million and pay the rest of the players? Those guys need to get investigated.
I said it, Tony, we're on lockstep. I said, how does Jerry Jones be able to play? He's got Deke getting paid $100 million. I think Amari's getting paid about the same. They got that edge rusher. They're all around $100 million players. Where is that money coming from?
I don't know, but it sounds a lot something. Someone's pulling some strings there.
Man.
But yeah, Kyle knows, you know, what he's doing, and if he stuffs this one up, it's going to be on him. It's not going to be on John Lynch. On Lynch, no way. It'll be on Kyle.
Well, they got a safety net. They'll stay with Jimmy this year. Only an idiot would do anything other than that because you don't know what you got in that starter, right? So you stay with Jimmy this year. You bring the kid along. You watch him in practice. And the way Kyle is, he'll be able to make a judgment from that. And then you go from there. I mean, this is a Super Bowl ready team.
We've already seen the ones that didn't work out move on. You know, like Beathard's gone. I mean, imagine, you know, that you send the kid out. He goes out. I mean, NFL's a different. It's a different. You know, when you step into that arena, and someone like DJ Jones lands on top of you and, you know, utters some words through his helmet. You know, knocks all the wind out of you, and while you're trying to get your breath back, the guy's saying, your ass is mine. Your confidence is going to be gone for the rest of that day.
Exactly. Or a guy comes off the edge like Shaq Barrett. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. You know, I mean,
that's right.
These are things that are going to intimidate that kid just came out of school. So, you know, it's scary out there, man. So that's why it takes a period of adjustment.
Might be looking like Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, running negative yards for the rest of the game.
I feel sorry for Mahomes. That was such a setup. He loses both tackles, and God, the Bucs were ready to go. They knew exactly what to do from the beginning of that game. But that's going to happen, you know. And Patrick Mahomes is a polished pro now. So this is the thing you got to be worried about. Mentality is as important as skill sets coming into the NFL from the college ranks. It really is. So he's got to have time to groom. So we'll see.
Yeah, but it also says that you need a line around your quarterback.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? I mean, if everyone's going to jump in, like Trey did the other day and said that I said he won it by default. I didn't say he won it by default, brother. I just meant that, he would have liked to have won it the way Brady beat his ass. And he just got showed up. Yeah.
I loved it. Tony, and I wanted to see him go down anyway. Tony, let's see him Friday, Tony, and see what develops between now and then. There's no telling what. All right.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, brother. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Trey.
Thanks, Tony.
And see you Friday.
Hey, looking forward to it. Good day, Tony.
Yeah,
and Russo, Big Show's picks is sexy. Also, the 49ers should draft Trey Lance. Show, everybody loves Big Show. We all take shots at him. He does it kind of sweet, doesn't he? Big Show for president. 49ers Ultimate Report says, will Mac Jones fans become Lambs or Hawks fans if the 49ers draft Fields or Lance? Listen, if anybody does that, they weren't really a 49er fan. You cannot turncoat. 901, you're in Tennessee. Hello. Tennessee. Who did that song? Lord, I moves. Arrested Development. Hey, 901. Tennessee can't hear us right now. All right, we'll come back to Tennessee.
Right here.
He's right there, though. You still can't hear us. Tennessee, 901 area code. Hello. Yo, it.
Okay.
Let's go to Tony in Atlanta then until we get Tennessee back.
Now, what you got to do?
Tony.
Oh, how are you?
Tony, doing all right, man. We're watching each day go by. Every day is going to be a drama between now and draft night. So it's fun to watch what's going on now. And
we have the hot ticket.
Yeah, I know, right? Sitting number 4 is such a great position right now. I heard you guys are fielding calls right now for trade down. And also, as I say, you got that man of men, Kyle Pitts. Kyle's probably already driving around Atlanta streets now thinking, yeah, this might be my home. And meanwhile, Tony says, no, it ain't.
No. We already got a man of men, number 11, Julio.
Yeah. But imagine what it'd be like with 2 of those, though. I mean, what's the defense going to do? You would render them helpless. This is why I don't want him over with the Hawks. I said, man, if the Hawks were to get a hold of Kyle Pitts, oh, no.
Yeah, but we'll still be like the old. Hey, Ronbo, you remember the old San Diego Chargers with Dan Fouts and all them?
Yeah. What they call that team? The Air Coryell? Air Coryell.
Air Coryell,
yeah.
We still, just like last year, we lost those 7 games by 5 points or less. All comebacks like the Super Bowl. We'll score 45 points.
That's right. You can score points. Yeah. You just need to get somebody to play D.
But hey, Ronbo, I got something for you. Did you hear about Mr. Spotlight, Jerry Jones, what he said about Kyle Pitts?
What?
He wants him and he's willing to trade up for him. Come on, give us a
Come
call.
on up to Atlanta and get some, Jerry. Boy.
I thought about Texas boy too when I saw that. I said, yeah. And I know because I kind of look at some, like, they got this one show called Cowboy Family. They got an extra 3rd round pick. So I said, okay, if y'all want this 4th overall, we'll give you our 1st round, our 5th, and our 6th. But y'all got to give us y'all's 1st round, a second.
You got to get a
both
player,
of those
too.
third. I'd rather have next year's first round draft pick also.
Yeah, because the Cowboys will get an ass whooping. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I don't know. Jones is like he still thinks he's playing Madden. He's not really running the team. He's not a GM, Tony, and he thinks he is. That's why the Cowboys are always going to be in the position they're in now. They may look good, may make them pressing and here and there, but they're still going to get the butt handed to them in the end.
Absolutely. And Ronbo, that's some funny, must-see TV. And I always like when Stephen A. Smith messes with him, wearing the black cowboy hat, laughing at him. That's some funny stuff.
Yeah, Stephen A. is. And Cowboy fans, he does that. So when the Cowboy fans call into the show, they be going all crazy, be hanging up the phone on him.
So Ronbo, I've been looking at players in the draft, man, like Andre Cisco, the free safety out of Syracuse. And here's a sleeper. I love this kid. His name is, what is that kid's name? Harris. What's his name? It's a defensive end from Pittsburgh. He had 11 and a half sacks this past year and 10 sacks
from
in
Pittsburgh.
2019.
Yeah. Jack, who is this out of Pittsburgh that's tearing up? Because I look at I thought you guys were getting, what's what's his first name? He's got a funny name. Something Pay.
Patrick Jones. Patrick Jones is his name.
Oh, okay. There's there's so much conversation on other positions like cornerback and quarterback. What I'm hearing about, there seems to be a number of edge rushers this year that are
because there's no standouts, but these are a lot of good, talented second, third, fourth round players.
Well, Twitty Pay is what I was thinking about. Yeah, he's right there for you too. Is he rated above Twitty?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Carlos Basham, another defensive end out of Wake Forest, he's a monster. I think he might go in the first round though.
Edge rushers changed the game. You know, it is definitely a good idea to get. I mean, we lost Nick, and it changed the whole complexity of our defense the first few weeks. We got real creative, and the defense got pretty good toward the end of the season. I need for Javon Kinlaw to take it up a notch. He's going to get a preseason this year, and let's see what he's got. And Nick's back.
Yeah, get that next step.
Yeah, and he's a huge fan of Nick.
Another defensive lineman?
You know, John Lynch is not going to leave the draft without a defensive lineman. He just ain't going to do it. It's Quiddy Pay. I'm sorry. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, John Lynch is not going to leave the draft without one. So I don't know which round, though.
But I just hope we trade down Ronbo to either Denver or Dallas, and then take Patrick Surtain, the cornerback out of Alabama. And we already got A.J. Terrell we drafted last year. We re-signed Darquez Denard, put him in the slot. That takes care of our secondary. And then we got extra picks.
There you go. Because
trade down.
Because the Dallas Cowboys, when they were thinking in their right mind, knowing that their cornerback situation is bad news, they were after Patrick Surtain. And now all of a sudden you're telling me that Jerry Jones is running around talking, I'm ready to trade up to get Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Jerry, take your medication. Sit down. Relax. Calm down. You know? God. Anyway, Tony, we got to go. Let's see you Friday and see because it's always fun talking over football news with you.
Yes. I'll tell you why Falcons fans are still pissed off at Kyle Shanahan.
Trez told me about that.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you, fam. All right, we'll see you Friday. All right. Man, funny. Let's go back to Tennessee.
Ronbo.
Yes, and who is this?
This is Robert Ronbo. I'm a Memphian. My first time on the line.
Okay, you said your name was Robert, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
hey, Robert.
Sir.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm a huge fan. If I can't catch you live, you keep me going at work.
Oh, glad to be. Boy, I'm loving it. Robert, you know what?
And to let y'all know,
all
y'all know on the West Coast, the Empire is heavy down here in Tennessee.
Is that right? Because the Titans,
yes, sir.
You guys got Big Henry out there, and Titans are in the playoffs and playing good football every year. So to say that, that's saying something special.
Oh, yeah. Look, if the 49ers and the Titans play tomorrow, hey, I'm a Niner all the way. I hope he break his leg.
Oh, that is a serious Niner fan. Yeah, as a matter of fact, because also in Atlanta, they put the camera on the area where the fans were hanging out at the concession and everything. There was a lot of red out there, but it wasn't all Atlanta Falcons red. So in the South, and even in Dallas, you got a lot of 49er fans.
Oh, yeah.
So when they say the Empire is small compared to the Cowboys, I say, oh, I don't know about that. You know, so.
But I know what the topic is, but I wanted to reassure some of our fans. Quit listening to all these people on ESPN. Why don't we have some faith in our franchise? Hey, sometimes Kyle might be telling the truth.
I know, right? And when Kyle speaks, he normally is not BSing. He lets John do that because John does that really well. Because John comes out looking like a politician with that big smile on his face and just saying things. I've caught John on a couple of occasions in the past. I always laugh. Look at John. He doesn't even mean that, but he looks like he does. But when Kyle comes out, he doesn't have time for BS. He's too serious for that. He doesn't talk like that.
Right. People don't listen to. I even watch some podcasts and people they don't talk about what Kyle says at his press conference. They too busy looking at his body language and trying to figure out what is he saying outside of what he's really saying.
Yeah.
He said, "Look, Jimmy's our guy. We're looking for an upgrade in the future." Now, if we was in a situation where this new rookie quarterback was coming in and was going to start day one, then I would be concerned.
Yeah.
And Jimmy is going to be there for at least another year. He has something to prove to the rest of the league. He wants a big contract before he's on the backside of his career. It's time to get a big contract before his career is over with. So it's not like he's going to go
take
out.
advantage of that because if he's going to come out playing like that,
Right.
But you could get an argument all day from a huge contingent of people. Kyle's not serious. He wants his quarterback. He doesn't like Jimmy. Yeah, I love the. He doesn't. He hates Garoppolo. He can't stand him. You ever watch his body language on the sideline? I said, dude, you need to calm down, man. Your mind, your imagination's going nuts. So
everybody makes mistakes, and the coach is gonna get upset with everybody. That don't mean he's throwing them out. He's throwing them away. When he makes a mistake.
And you don't have a quarterback that's not making any mistakes ever. That's what I keep saying. No matter who you bring in, he's gonna make a mistake. God.
Show me one.
I ain't seen one yet.
And another thing about Mac Jones, hey, when we was at 12, what was the consensus about Mac? That he would be a good quarterback in our system, that hey, we would be fortunate to get him at 12. So why is everybody shitting on him, saying that he's not he's a statue, he's not mobile, he's not this. He's not a number 3 pick. I agree with this.
Yeah.
But he's not a bad option.
Yeah. He's not as bad as people are saying.
Hey,
yeah, I agree.
Right. I'm a Fields guy. All day long. But we still got to remember we're not one of those bottom tier teams that has to take a quarterback. And that's a lot of times like one of those stats that you were talking about, all the quarterbacks that have
Field.
Was a bust.
Yeah.
That was because they were put into a situation where they had to play now. And football in the NFL and football in college is two totally different sports. The fastest people on the field in college are probably mediocre in the league. So that's where the game is different. And this whole narrative, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but this whole narrative about Jimmy being injury prone, 2 injuries don't make you injury prone.
It's a number of reasons why people don't like Jimmy and other than injury, because you know what? This quarterback's getting hurt all the time. This is just one of those reasons why he's always hurt. Well, he's only been on the field for 4 seasons. He got hurt. One was an ACL. Last year was a high ankle sprain. which is kind of minor when you consider the high ankle sprain didn't take him out. So, but yes.
People question him being tough. People question Jimmy being tough. He was showing he was tough. He put his shoulder down and tried to get a couple extra yards, tear up his ACL. Okay.
Yeah.
Last year, and when a guy twice his size fall on him and he twisted his ankle. Me, Ronbo, I played basketball and I ran track. I was an extraordinary track athlete. I took my own horn. I still hold records today in the state of Tennessee from 2002.
Right.
And my 11th grade year, I had a high ankle sprain. And I did this during basketball season. And I was hurt the next year in the spring. That year and the next year. So, if you never had a high ankle sprain, you really don't know what that man had to do with.
No, and he came back season. Robert, so good to meet you. Because we're out of time, let's see you Friday.
Oh, yeah, I'll be here, Ronbo.
All right. There he is. Track star champion out of Tennessee and basketball player, Robert. Yes, Robert. Talk to you later, fam.
All right.
All right. Night, Robert. I got to love this going back and forth with Big Show. Now, this is Little Case Big Show. And he says, please remind the chat that I think Russo is sexy. See, Big Show Jr., I can tell, but I read the B's and the S's. You see what I did there? Even I enjoyed that myself. Hey, Mars 73. Steve Young saying Niners want mobile quarterbacks should have kept Cap if that was the case. I feel so bad for Cap, and now Jimmy both took us to the Super Bowl and now out. Yeah, it's quarterback's a rough position. It's you're either in the light or you're out. And Mars, thanks for that contribution too. And let us go to Waruna.
Hi, Rambo.
Hey, Waruna. How you doing?
Yeah, doing good.
Waruna, you've been checking out the subject matter tonight. We're talking about the risk involved in picking up a quarterback in the top 5 picks, and the history behind that pick has not been good.
Yes.
You know what I want to know, Runa? I didn't check it out because I just saw this and I went with this. I want to know, when was the last time a quarterback was picked and traded up for and gave up a lot of assets? Who did do well? But for right now, since RG3, it's been nothing nice, and that goes all the way back to 2013. So
I think for Jared Goff, Rams gave away a bunch of picks, right?
Yeah.
That's
Carson
it.
Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Who else?
But we got Trubisky. Trubisky wasn't a lot of picks, but they did trade up.
Yes.
To get him. And
yes, even Josh Rosen was picked within first 10.
And
he wasn't just. Yes.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. Hey, did they trade? Did the Giants trade up in the first round to get Daniel Jones, or did they just take their pick? I think that was just their pick. They were high in the draft over there.
Yes, they were high in the draft. Yes, they were high in the draft.
Yeah.
Yes, they didn't trade up. So now I think one of the major questions that you're asking today is whether whoever the quarterback is worth 3 first-round picks and how bad this move gonna be, right?
Or risky.
Risky. Yes, that's true. But I think at this moment, I mean, we all know how risky it is. So only we can do is, as 49er fans, that have some faith that this will work, because everything, it seems like, the history, the stats, everything seems like going against the general wisdom. So the only thing that we can have is faith. But I will again ask you a different question. So give some thought on this. Where would you rank Kyle Shanahan in NFC West among the coaches?
Okay, well, Runa, you know what's so funny? Because I'm going to be biased. I can't help myself.
Okay.
I think Kyle Shanahan is probably the best in the division, right? Because the Cardinals, I mean, that's not Pete Carroll. You could give an argument for Pete Carroll, though. McVay, you know, between Carroll, McVay, and Shanahan, I'm still going to stay behind Kyle, though, because McVay knows what he knows because of Kyle. And Pete Carroll is just amazing keeping that team in competition every year. Honestly, Maruna, I hate to say it, but it might be Pete.
Yes. So in my rankings, Kyle Shanahan comes third. It's Pete Carroll.
You're worse than me. I just came number 2. But why do you do that?
The thing is this. Okay, think about this. Sean McVay also took his team to Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
He has winning seasons every time. Kyle only has one winning season.
He was surrounded with great talent, though, Aruna. He came into LA with great talent.
Okay, so here's the thing. Now, all the media, whoever it is, saying Kyle Shanahan is a great offensive mind. He can work with any quarterback. I mean, you put even this high school kid behind center, Kyle would win. But do you think that's correct?
Yeah, no.
Who did he draft in 2017? CJ Beathard.
Yeah, that didn't work.
That didn't work, right? So that's the thing. I mean, for some reason, Sean McVay is very underrated. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Pete Carroll, every year, produced those 10 wins, 11 wins. I mean, look at Seattle's offensive line. It's terrible than 9 offensive line, right? They don't have the offensive weapons, everything. They are banged up every year. Last year, they had so many injuries. Even this year, Seattle has injuries. But year in, year out, Pete Carroll produces something out. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's look at the facts.
No.
We have only one winning season. I mean, we went to Super Bowl, yes,
yeah,
but still we didn't finish it, right?
No. But you need to think McVay. Maruna, have you got a speaker open at your place? Because it's giving feedback.
Oh, sorry. Let me quickly try switching into another room, okay? Okay. Give me just a couple of minutes.
We're going to have to hurry because we're going to run out of time.
Yes. Yes, I'm ready.
Continue this.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you only got 30 seconds, so we're good. But can you make a point in 30 seconds and we continue? Always fun to talk to you, though. I love it. You bring food for thought and mind-penetrating things that you have to think about. Go ahead. You got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, McVay is always underrated. And Pete Carroll produces the very good results. And always Kyle Shanahan is overrated because he just went to one Super Bowl. And remember, that one Super Bowl was due to just a less than 1 yard separation of that last game in the season versus Seattle. If that 1 yard difference went other way around, we would have to play 3 road games to get into the Super Bowl. I mean, we were lucky.
But you know what's...
And
every year, you got to be lucky to win. But Maruna, please, get back Friday. I can't wait to hear from you again.
Yes.
Always got something special going on. Hey,
okay.
I'll see you Friday then, okay?
Okay, sure. Bye.
Bye. See, it's the kind of question I don't want to have to deal with, okay? Because I like Kyle Shanahan, and I don't appreciate the Hawks, and I definitely don't like the Rams. There's Rudy running around, one of the prime reasons why I don't like the Rams. And then you look at the Cardinals, and, you know, I don't want to compare Kyle and his record with those people. Any of these other teams. Got to give Carroll credit, though. I hate to, but I have to. Is that
Hey, Ronbo.
Who's that? That's not Bethel. Who's this? Is that Bethel? Bethel?
Yeah, it is.
Hey,
Yeah,
Bethel.
it is.
Bethel. Oh, God. Bethel, we're like looking at the odds of succeeding when trading up into the top part of the draft. When you're up in the top 5 and you traded up and gave up a lot of picks to get that pick, it's a risk that better pan out. Bethel, do you know if this works out for the 49ers and this quarterback that we pick up this year, if he's good and he stays around for a second contract, that means Kyle and John will have broken a bad trend ever since RG3 of drafting up too high in the draft. Baker Mayfield, no, Browns had that pick. Yeah, trading up is the issue. So, Bethel, did Kyle and John do the right thing by trading up to the number 3 spot to pick up their quarterback?
It depends on who they draft. If they draft the right, because if you think about it, if they do draft the guy everybody hates, then they're gonna expect high stuff from him. Everybody, no matter if he does, yeah.
Do you hate him too? You hate Mac Jones? Hey, you're right.
No, I don't hate anybody. I just
I feel bad
it's
for
just that whoever they pick, then that's who we have to go for. But the only thing is that I see a lot of people are saying is that if they pick him, he's gonna have high, applications. So he better, do what he needs to do. But I see a lot of people say if he picks one of the other guys, if they don't plan out, people are not gonna be mad. But if they pick this guy, then people are gonna be mad if he fails.
Bethel, here's a question though. If you were Mac Jones and the 49ers came to talk to you, Mac Jones probably knows how the 49er fans feel about him by now, because there's been all kind of social media just trashing him. If I'm Mac Jones, glad to meet you, Mr. Lynch. Listen, you know what? Can I ask you a favor? Yeah, go ahead. Don't draft me. Why? Listen,
one thing that actually amazed me that Kyle did not talk to him in the pro date.
I know,
and didn't ask him any questions.
Or his coach.
Or his coach. So if that says a lot. That probably he probably didn't like what he seen.
Hurricane Bethel comes in and blows everybody away. That's as sure. They didn't talk to Nick Bosa at all the year they picked him up. I don't know about Mike McGlinchey. Solomon Thomas, I'm not sure. But you're right. When Kyle doesn't talk to people, that's when you need to worry.
And then another thing is that on his press conference, our GM looked like he was worried, or he was doing all this stuff with his hands, like a bad poker face. And, so that wasn't good. And Kyle was all happy and doodle. And, and there was actually one quarterback that they didn't mention, but he did. And that's a quarterback that nobody thinks that they're not gonna draft. So it's it's strange, what's gonna happen, but I get we're all probably gonna be in shock when it happens, or we're not. It depends on what they do.
Just don't be surprised and you won't be shocked, because I have no idea what Kyle's gonna do. It looks like Justin Fields is the right guy to get, honestly. And Trey Lance has got some great upside to him. And Mac Jones is solid, and he's a Kyle-type quarterback. But like people are saying, you don't trade up to number 3 to get a Kyle-style quarterback. You get something beyond. But if you're Kyle, I'm thinking I'm going to have to get something that I know I can develop into something, rather than run the risk of trying to get something that I'm not fully believing in. It's going to be scary, Bethel.
Yeah, it is. But we're not gonna be able to see that until draft day. So, hopefully, Kyle does the right thing and does what he does. But, the thing is that, if you see what the Jets did, basically the Jets are going to put a rookie quarterback in there, and you don't do that. And then plus, our quarterback coach decided to go with us instead of go with the Jets. So whoever the Niners get, they're going to be grooming by our quarterback coach, and you don't know what kind of stuff is he going to make him into, and probably make him into a better quarterback while he's sitting back and, you know, watching how the offense runs. And, you know, he might shock us, and then he might, you know, end up doing some great things. So.
Good point, too.
Yeah.
Scangarello and Shannon have definitely discussed who's workable in this situation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The thing is that he didn't want to go to the Jets because, you know, the Jets are a rebuild team. The Niners are a ready team. So if we go to the Super Bowl or something happens, you know, he wants to be there.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. Bill, we ran out of time. Clock is moving quick tonight because it's too much fun. Bill, let me see you Friday, okay? And again,
all right, Ronbo.
Great points. Yeah. All right.
And hit a like for Ronbo Sports, the best show in YouTube. Let's go Niners.
Thanks, fam.
All right, good night, Ronbo.
Night, Bethel. and there's Richard Ray Archuleta. Hello from Seattle. Richard Ray, I didn't know you were in Seattle. You're up there with the best coach in the NFC West. Ew, I can't believe I said that, but fam, you know what? Honestly, how you gonna we can't say nothing about Pete Carroll. I want to. He keeps that team competitive ever since 2013. At 7 straight years, Carroll has kept that team in contention. Damn it. Stefan Music Huntley. Thanks, fam. Kyle better not blow this pick. I believe it's Super Bowl 2021 or hit the road, coach. Go Niners. But, Stefan, you know I got to ask, though. Who do you pick up as a coach if you let Kyle go? These are the things that scare me the Jesus on me. I don't want the wrong guy to come in here, call himself coaching the 49ers, and we end up getting our butt handed to us each and every Sunday, once a year on Thursday, and maybe 1 or 2 Monday nights. Boy, oh no. Hey, Jay.
My man Ronbo.
Jay Wilson. What are you doing, man?
I'm cooling, you know what I mean?
Jay,
just listen to the faithful tonight.
Oh, Jay, man, we're on a subject tonight that I hadn't even thought about because I didn't even look. Somebody brought up the history of the last few years when quarterbacks been drafted up for and people gave up all kind of stuff for him. Thought that was the man, and the man came in and did okay or did badly, like Trubisky, and now here we are. We're doing this, Jay. Are you scared? Watch this.
Only thing making me scared is Matt Jones. That's the only thing scaring me right now.
But Jay, what if you got an offer from let's see, what's the Indy 500? They want you to come out and drive one of their extremely fast cars. But Jay, you're a driver. But this is another beast, right? I see you now. Car runs. That's a 250-mile-an-hour car. Jay gets in there, hits the accelerator, and ends up in the stands because it's so much torque. Bam! Damn! I was only in first gear. So Jay, I'm looking at Kyle Shanahan, and I'm thinking, Kyle, if he goes to a place like Star Trek where no other man has gone before, will he be comfortable? See, that's why Mac Jones, I'm thinking Mac Jones, I'm not crazy about no Mac Jones, but I'm wondering if Kyle is because that's what he does. He does the Mac Jones kind of quarterback. But, is it a risk for him to go another direction?
Man, it's the same risk for Mac Jones. You know what I mean? What has this guy done? You know what I mean? His first year, he been on the bench all his career. Last year when Tua got hurt, he came in for the last 4 games, threw 2 interceptions in the playoff game. Yeah. And Alabama got bounced because Tua was hurt, and they had Mac Jones at quarterback. You know what I mean? With Judy, Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle.
He had some good receivers. Yeah, he had awesome receivers. Bama's got good receivers every year, though. But he had them like you're talking about. And I wanted Henry Ruggs badly. Bring that boy to safety. Couldn't get him.
Yeah. And you throw 2 interceptions in the playoff games to get your team, get Alabama bounced, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, ain't nobody talking about, you know, like we say, the NFL got different athletes. You know what I mean? It's different games. Yeah. We ain't talking about Alex Leatherwood ain't over there blocking on that right side. We got McGlinchey over there blocking on that right side for you. And we don't think Kyle Shanahan done seen Jimmy sit in the pocket and crumble enough, couldn't get out of danger way because he couldn't move. We just got to do some common sense thinking here. Like, some things just don't make sense.
But you know, he's going to have to get rid of the ball quick. It's more than just Jimmy getting beat down or any other quarterback that we have. It's about reading that defense and getting rid of that ball quick, which, you know, what's so funny? Because, Jay, that's why I would say, why do Jimmy, CJ, and Nick all look similar in that pocket? That's why I know that's Kyle. So
and that's what I'm saying right there, Rambo.
When you bring Fields in, though, I'm just wondering, does Kyle loosen the leash up on him? How's it work? Because contrary to what people believe, Nick, and I mean, not Nick, CJ can run. We've already seen him run. Jimmy, when he first came, Jimmy was running up and down the line like a linebacker when he's playing quarterback. So it's not so much that they're statues. It's about what Kyle tells you to do. And that's what I think. I'm wondering, is he going to change up?
He ain't got to change up for Justin Fields. That's what Justin Fields doesn't run the ball like Lamar Jackson. He sit in the pocket like Deshaun Watson, and he take the big hit. You know what I mean?
We don't want to take a big hit, though. So, we want him to get rid of the ball.
No. Yeah, but I'm just saying, he will stand in it. And, you know, the scrambling part is when everything else fails, then go be an athlete. Get away from that DN. Then get out the pocket. Throw down the field. Go run. That's when that extra attributes come in.
And do it at the right time, though. Because like I'm saying, if you bail on that play and you got a receiver sitting open, Kyle is going to be livid. Because like he says, he always thinks there's always a receiver open. That's how arrogant he is about his offense. This is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
For a quarterback to come in there that has the ability to escape the pocket, he's got to be real careful with Kyle. Real careful.
Yeah, but you look at it, you know, Justin Fields has been the one that's a passer first. And
if he is, that's good.
He has more game time experience than any other quarterback other than Trevor Lawrence.
He said he learns quick too. Guys brilliant, almost like photographic memory. So learning Kyle's system is not easy. If he's smart like that, it won't be hard for him.
Oh yeah, I mean any one of these quarterbacks, Kyle's going, you know, dumb it down in the beginning till they pick up. And then,
at some point,
another thing I want. Oh yeah, another thing I want to ask: what quarterback has Kyle developed? CJ Beathard, how did that work out?
No development there. Well, you know what? He looked good this year compared to what he did the first year.
Oh my God.
Hey, but Jay, that's why they got Rich Gangarello back. They needed him bad. Kyle just I don't think he had that kind of patience.
And Rich Gangarello, he was in that QB collective too with Fields.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the guy. We'll see.
He need to be. He need to be, Rambo. I'm glad. I'm glad you try and warm up to it. It sounds like
it just makes sense because of all the things that I'm taking in now, and Mac Jones, like you say, I don't know that Jones is going to make anybody crazy, and Trey Lance is definitely going to be a project. So you never know. But Jay, we didn't run out of time. It's funny, the clock is running out quick tonight. I guess we're having too much fun here.
Already.
Jay, man, be careful out there. I'm gonna see you Friday, or see you on Twitter.
You know, all day.
Well, Jay be working me on Twitter, man.
Oh yeah, I got you all day in Las Vegas every night. You have a blessing, Rambo. You on the faithful.
Thanks, man.
And production, man.
You.
Already.
Thanks, Jay.
Bang, bang, not again. Justin Fields, let's get it. Have a blessed night.
You do, Jay. Thanks, man. I still want to see Jay be a Formula One driver. I want to see if he can handle it. Every time I see that, I want to try it, though. But you got that many horses underneath you? Oh, my God. Oh, Ellis!
Ronbo.
Ellis. Come on in, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we were discussing running risk and, with somebody else's money. But, Ellis, it's if apparently they had a long discussion with Jed and, they pretty much wanted to trade up 4 weeks before they even got that deal. So they've had their eyes on somebody for a long time. And the thing is it Justin Fields or has it been Mac Jones ever since the national championship game, which is scaring the bejesus out of people? And if they're going to run a risk, like I said, does Kyle want to go out of his element running this kind of a risk? Or has he had a talk with Rich Scangarello, and Scangarello says, Kyle, listen, this is your guy, man. Get this guy, we'll make it work. I'm wondering what kind of conversation took place. It's a big risk, Ellis. Did they do the right thing, making this kind of pick or making this kind of play to get up to number 3?
Kyle, I think we were in a little bit of a pressure situation just being at 12 and kind of just figuring out what we were going to do. If we were going to keep Jimmy, if we were going to, with the Deshaun stuff that was going on and all that. Mm. And so with this trade up to 3, man, he's definitely putting this is balls to the wall, as we like to say.
Failure's not an option.
And this is it. So whatever Kyle has up his sleeve, he is taking that chance, just like in the game time when he does these risky plays or he chooses not to do something or whatever. It's all on him. And to be honest, the Mac Jones thing seems like a safe pick for Kyle. Mac Jones when I was watching him, I was like, damn. Yeah, and when everybody said, oh, he looks like Jimmy, he looks like how Jimmy would look if he was running or when he's running Kyle's offense the way he wants. And he also has flashes of like the Tom Brady kind of, maybe it's just how he postures, how he holds the ball in the pocket and he lets it go. He's not a bad quarterback at all, man. I'm not going to say Mac Jones is just terrible.
No, I know.
He's just not the quarterback that I want for our team and a lot of other guys.
But you keep it 100. So, people need to stop calling Mac Jones sorry. He's not sorry, but he's just not as exciting as some of the other guys.
He just is not flashy. He's not exciting. He's not like the guy where we'd be like, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. He gives us, he's like, he gives us that Davis Mills vibe, like Shay was talking about earlier. You could go back and you can get Davis Mills, if you want to, do Mac Jones. And it was, I agree with that, perfectly. But again, go ahead, family.
Was that the guy at Stanford, Davis Mills? Who's at Stanford?
Yeah, Davis Mills was good. Yeah, Davis Mills was from Stanford. He was he was doing his pro day in the rain, dropping dimes. I'm talking about spirals, missiles in the air. I was impressed. I'm going to be honest. But, but I think that Belichick's going to get him or he's going to go for Mac Jones. It's kind of funny because Kyle could use that as a chess piece and kind of squeeze something out of squeeze some other things even out of him too, out of Belichick if he wants to get Mac Jones. And let's just say we don't plan on it, but everybody's been saying that. Then there's something that we may be able to do with that. Give us your first and your second, move up here to this third, and give us a future first there, Bill. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, you want Jimmy too, or we'll keep Jimmy and we'll
take
I'm just saying he could spice it up. It's a very it's a chess like move. You know what I mean? But he puts a lot of pressure on him at the same time. So he's definitely got to have he's got to make this the right one. And let's just say he gets Mac Jones. And, Jimmy goes, a half a season, or if we get Jimmy the full season, that'd be great. You know, as far as if we're doing well and things go well, and he can get a full year, Mac Jones can get a full year under Jimmy, he could ball out for us. You just don't know. But my problem is the line thing. I'm looking at Alabama. I'm looking at his receiver core. I'm looking at everything he has.
Yeah.
It's like playing the game with having, you know, all the all-stars, the best players on it. You know what I mean? At one time, and we have a team like that. However, it doesn't go like that in the NFL. It's not the same. You know, so I just think it's going to be scary. You know, it's going to be scary if Kyle does that because he's really risking it. You know, and I mean Tom Brady. I mean, there's only one Tom Brady, but he's got that posture, he's got that look because Kyle wanted Tom Brady. Remember, instead of, at least from what I recall, Kyle actually wanted Tom Brady.
No, that was Lynch on the phone making that deal with Belichick.
Oh, Lynch.
And Belichick laughed.
Okay, there we go.
No.
Right.
And that's when they went and got Jimmy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm just saying it's kind of just like it's intriguing because we're in this position right now. And if it was between, you know, Kyle would probably go with Justin over Trey because, you know, there's just too many things that tie together. And if Scangarella was at the collective, I mean, I don't know how many years, you know, Fields was at the collective or whatever, but, you know, there's a lot of things that just kind of tie together and, you know, it could make sense, which I wouldn't be mad. I just want it to be a good pick all in all. And if we're going generational, we're mortgaging the future. This better be the one, Kyle.
Give yourself the best chance. Well, fam, as we did it again, I don't know what's going on. The time ran out again while we were talking. But Ellis, I'm going to look for you Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to you, brother Ronbo, man.
Thanks, Ellis.
I surely hope, man, that we can do some other, you know, big things in the, you know, if not in the late first round, in the second round, you know, because the third, fourth, and on, I think we'll be okay. But we need to get in that second round at least a little bit more, you know, if all we go is the third round.
You know, and because it's really after the lightning and fireworks go out in the first round, everything after that in the draft is going to be even more exciting. But anyway, Ellis.
Yeah. Well, peace and love. Yes, sir. Hit that like and subscribe, man. Y'all hit that like and subscribe for the Ronbo Sports, man, in the channel and everything. Shout out to the United Faithful. Peace and love, y'all.
Thanks, Ellis.
And Friday.
Peace. Looking forward. Ain't no telling what's going to happen next. All right, Bill. Night. Oh, God. I'm looking at this. There's a person called Daddy Dennis in the chat. I noticed nobody's even arguing with him, but Daddy Dennis is a huge Money Mac fan. He take Money Mac over Trevor Lawrence. Daddy, you got to call in here, man. I'd love to hear from you to explain that. Anyways, you know, because, you know, I'm a man of passion. Like, when I like a player, I like a player. And Daddy Dennis reminds me of me pushing the Mac man. Oh, there he is. One of the founding members of TNT. Therese from Atlanta, GA. Taz, get in here, man. Let me, where's that red and gold? I already keep it handy.
Hold up.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Rumbo, go on and put some red and gold up in it.
Twist. Pow, pow. Got some fireworks installed in that stuff, too. Skip, bang. Taz, get in here, man, because you're the guy. We just got through talking. Robert from Atlanta called and said, you know, folks still mad at Kyle Shanahan around here.
Oh, yeah. They still talk about that. I mean, like it was yesterday, Ronbo.
Hey, but are they hating on Matty Ice though? Is it all about Kyle?
Oh yeah.
Or Matty Ice getting in?
Yeah, they can't stand Matty Ice around here either. They ready for him to go too. Because he's ice cold, Rumbo. Because he's ice cold.
That's why they call him the Iceman. But Tress, Kyle did it. You know, this is that pick that always sucks butt at some point. And for the last, since Robert Griffin III, he has to go back 7 years. And here we are, sitting in this position. Tress, do you like this position? Do you believe we will buck the trend of fail and pull us the right quarterback?
Like I said, Rumbo, I'm going to state it again. I don't know what Kyle going to do, man. The guy worries me, man. You know, I done lost all faith in Kyle, man. Kyle tell you a lie, look you dead in the face and lie to you, and buy you a beer at the same time, patting you on the back.
So I mean, you can't tell what to believe from it. I look at it like this, Ronbo. People can run the numbers. They can talk the talk. They can say this quarterback, that quarterback, this one. But at the end of the day, Ronbo, I look at one thing when I looked at Matt Jones' film, and I saw receivers getting at least 7 to 15 yards worth of separation. You know, the only time when I seen a defender close to an Alabama receiver where the dude was throwing a tight one, it was on the slant play because it was a quick throw. And I'm like, I'm not seeing, because we don't have those type of elite receivers that he's played with at Alabama. You see what I'm saying? So
I've been crying about that for years.
Right. We don't have that. So the coverage is going to be a little tighter with our receivers. So, you know, ball placement is going to be key. And you go into a guy that's 15, 7 yard separation, I don't see where
with
you know,
cornerback riding
where
him
you
like,
right. Well, you that spectacular at. I could do that shit. Hell, you could do that, Rumbo. I mean, come on. The kind of line Alabama have, I mean, the boys just sitting back there, you know.
And all pro receivers playing in the college level.
Right.
Trez, we need to hire Sarkisian as Kyle's OC. Man, how in the world are those guys running loose like that?
Hey, you need to. But, you know, so then, you know, everybody want to say, I looked at them talking about Sarkisian is already running somewhat of Kyle offense at Alabama, and Matt Jones will step right in and all that. But look, I still say, I mean, I look at the game film and I'm looking, we don't have these type of receivers. So this guy, I mean, he struggled in his pro days, both pro days, like Denise said. Great call by Denise. Shout out to TNT family. Yeah. But it's like I'm not impressed, Rumbo. And I don't see what Kyle sees. You know what I'm saying? Like really, I mean, Justin Fields, you get like somebody just said, you get like you grooming a Deshaun Watson. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're grooming a young Deshaun Watson, a guy that can stay in the pocket, become a pocket passer, and get you the necessary yards when it's got to be picked up by the quarterback. Yep. Right? Exactly. And you know that's it in a nutshell, Rumbo.
And Trez, you know, you make a good point, because every year since Jimmy G got there, people give Jimmy all kind of slaps. I said, you know what? Look at the receivers we got. Kendrick Bourne ranks as one of the best out there. Now, what does that tell you? And then after we got Emmanuel Sanders, all of a sudden Jimmy's game picked up. I've said it from that point. I knew what I was talking about. I said, get some receivers. Kyle, we tried to get OBJ and we failed, right? So that's what I'm saying. Right, you're saying bring Mac Jones in there, and he ain't as good as Jimmy. I don't care what anybody says. He's going to get beat down through the dirt as well. Now you got Debo, though, and Ayuk. Maybe we finally got some real receivers, because Debo's a bad boy now, and Ayuk came in bad. So we might be okay this year.
Here's the thing, Rumbo. Matt Jones ain't seen Aaron Donald. You see what I'm saying?
He doesn't want to either. God.
He hasn't seen the kind of caliber of NFL player that he's about to embark on. You see what I'm saying? So it's for me, like I said, you when you have that mobility in a quarterback, Rumbo, not only do the defense have to scheme for Kyle's scheme, they have to scheme for that quarterback too.
Yeah.
You know, the quarterback has to be accounted for in that type of offense. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But you don't have, if you got a Matt Jones, they ain't gotta have no accountability for him running. Really? They can drop back. Hey, we ain't worried about him. Like they ain't worried about Jimmy running. You know what I'm saying? You know, you ain't got to account for that.
That is an element.
You had that dual threat.
Yeah, that is an element that the DCs do have to be worried about, and we always worry about it when we're playing against these guys. So you know.
Right. So if you take it like this, you got Mostert, right? Okay, and then you got both our wideouts, Ayuk and Debo. You got Kittle. Did we re-sign Jordan Reed? Because that was a big thing I wanted to do.
I know, right? I haven't heard anything yet, and that's not a good sign.
I haven't heard anything on that. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. I think he's a big key to this offense, because in case we ain't gonna say that, but we need a bag up threat guy. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna mention that other word about
is not gonna go 16 weeks. He ain't gonna do it. Yeah. It's his style of play.
We gotta have that. Yeah, we gotta have that. So and then you're saying, okay, we versatile at the running back position. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be at that quarterback position just a threat as any other thing. You know what I'm saying? So defenses can, have to account for our quarterback also. It's for me, it's not that hard. It's an easy choice. But hey, it all depends on Kyle.
Yeah. And Kyle could finally decide, I'm going to go ahead and alter my playbook and my concepts at least a degree. Stop caging up the guy behind the center, and let him make some judgments on his own. But you know what the thing is, Tress? Kyle's not going to let him make no judgments on his own in his first year. Maybe not even his second year. This is what Kyle's problem is. Tress, we're going to run out of time now.
Right. It boiled down to what you said the other day when you said ego and him having a quarterback. I think it was Big Show. Somebody said, I forgot who said it, but I think it was Sheik. He wants a quarterback that he can control. That he says, go do this, they go do. And I get tired of that because you know what? That's going to be his Achilles heel that brings him down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, it's going to be his downfall. His arrogance. You can't be that type of an arrogant coach. You can't. Especially when you ain't did a goddamn thing. Yeah. But all right, Ronbo, shout out to my TNT family. Have a good one. We love you. And I'm out of here.
Thanks, Trez. Looking forward to hearing from you again. We get all kind of Trez this last couple of weeks. Yes. Like Trez. And Niner by nature, he says, all honesty, Ronbo, Trey Lance will be the most dangerous quarterback in this draft. I tell you what, I played in the secondary, and if I seen Trey Lance coming down the field and broken the interior already and got his knees up around his eyeballs, he's coming down the field, I'm making a business decision. I like him. Woo! That dude is a bad boy. But how much time is going to be before we get him in stride and ready? Thanks, Not by Nature, for that contribution. Looking at, and it's Denise. If Kyle drafts Mac Jones, we are drafting Jared Goff, and we are going to be looking for a quarterback in 4 years, and Jed will be looking for a new coach. This is what I'm saying about the risk involved. If you stay at 12 and pick Mac Jones, nobody's going to say anything. Well, some people are going to say something, but you give up first-round picks for the next 2 years, somebody's going to definitely say something. Do we get them all? We got them all. Okay. Hey, Chip. Okay, I thought we were short. Hold on a second.
Yo.
Chip, hold on a second. We made a little mistake here. Hold on a second. Ken Martin Fields is terrible versus pressure. Uh-oh. This caller talking about Mac seeing Donald. Mac gets the ball out way faster than Fields will. Watch the tape. Whoa! Mac Jones getting some love. Hey, Chip, come on in, man.
What's going on, brother?
It's funny, Chip. You know, this conversation tonight is based on the fact that the quarterbacks that have been drafted and traded up for in the first round after a team has yielded an crazy amount of first-round picks and whatever else has had bad fortune. RG3, you keep on going down. You see Jared Goff. You see Sam Darnold. You see Mitchell Trubisky. Kyle is just, 49ers just put themselves in a position to be with that Damocles sword dangling over their head. This has got to work, Chip. Failure is going to get somebody in trouble here. So, do you think Kyle knows what he's doing here? And do you have reservations about this? Or do you think Kyle knows what he's doing and he'll be fine?
Of course, the crazy genius knows what he's doing, man. Otherwise, he wouldn't do that.
Are you sure?
Hey, everybody needs to relax. Right? Just chill out. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. He wouldn't
born yesterday.
Made those exactly. Yeah. He wasn't. Yeah, and not to mention his pops is running the show.
Oh,
nobody else says anything about that either.
It's Mike.
Hey, nobody says anything about that either, too.
No,
Mike.
I heard about that.
He's running the show.
Yeah, Mike and Kyle.
Yeah,
and John's just hanging out, basically.
Hey, he's there to make him look good
and go out and make public statements.
Exactly.
People deny that, though.
No, seriously, he has the last say. That's what it is.
Hey, he's the OG of OGs. Yeah.
Yes. They're not gonna, give up their power without making it worth it. Now, Ronbo, the last time I called you, it was a while back, man. A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I told you that what they should do was draft a quarterback. Didn't I say, Mr. Zach Wilson?
Okay, but I knew they were going to draft a quarterback this year. I just didn't know they were going to draft it in the number 3 position. But Zach,
Yeah,
Chip,
well, I didn't either, man. I didn't either, but I didn't think he was going to be drafted. I mean, listed that high.
Zach is being set up to be picked up by the Jets. Is he going to the Jets, or is that more smoke and mirrors? But I don't understand why.
Yeah, exactly, man. Window dressing, Ronbo. He's gonna be a Niner. He's gonna be a Niner, man.
I know, but Chip, why do I need to BS if I'm picking number 2? I mean, what would be the point? I mean, if I'm not picking up Zach Wilson, why do I need to say anything? I don't need to say anything one way or the other. I'm number 2. I already know that Trevor Lawrence is going to Jacksonville. So what do I need to say? Yeah. I need to, if I'm going to take a trade up, you know what? See, Chip, that's what we got to worry about. If you want Zach Wilson and the Jets are clowning, they're getting ready to take a boatload of picks.
Yeah. Well, what about? How come nobody said anything about all the picks that they got when Saleh became the coach of the Jets? Didn't they get like 3 extra picks or something?
No, just one. Just get one for him.
Oh, just one?
Hey, listen.
I swear they said it was like 3 extra picks.
You know something though, Chip? The Jets could be clowning, and maybe they do want a bunch of picks, and the 49ers know it. And you know what? The 49ers could whoever drafts up to number 2 is going to take, they're going to take Fields.
Either way, right, man, I'm ready to hear you sing "Ooh La La" a lot this year, man.
Oh, I really hope so. There was a drought on that last year. I got to do it 6 puny times, and one I was so sharp I forgot to sing.
It is what it is, man.
It sucks.
It is what it is.
I mean, God. I mean, we come from the Super Bowl, Chip, I'm talking all the way down to the base of the sewer. I mean, whoa, my God.
It was horrible, man. It was the pandemic, and everybody got hurt.
And then there's that. I mean, we're getting our butt kicked.
Nobody could stay healthy.
We're getting our butt kicked and have to deal with the pandemic on a daily basis. What kind of nightmare was that? God, I'm so glad 2020 is gone. Never forget it.
Oh, man. Well, 2021 didn't start out too well for me either, brother, but I'm still doing all right, best I can, no?
That just shows to go that you've got fortitude, my man. You got this, what it takes to rise above.
All day, brother, all day. I'm Niner strong.
I wish I would have said
that. You like that one.
Get T-shirts made with that. But Chip, we're going to be okay.
Yeah,
and Kyle's going to do something that we don't know is going to happen.
Yeah, they got an ace in their pocket, bro. Don't sleep on them.
There you go. Chip's got the faith. I love it. All right, we're going to be okay.
All day, baby. All day. Hey, don't ever go away from it, brother.
Yeah, I believe it. Good talking to you, Chip.
Yeah, man. Hey, I was gonna ask you, Ronbo, where'd you get that hat, bro?
This one,
the one with the gold emblem. Yeah, I've been trying to find that one, bro.
Fans. Wait, production because I order these all the time. Hatland. Oh, yeah. Hey, Hatland. Yeah. Hey, check out Hatland.com.
Okay.
And
okay. Yeah. No, I got Coach's hat this couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was thinking about that hat.
Oh, that one's hard, dude. That one's hard.
It looks cool as can be. I mean, it's so you can wear that
old school. Yeah, the old school one. Yeah. And then for Christmas I got a black on black. You can hardly see it unless you gotta get real close to it. But it's dope. That one's dope.
Jim, we got to roll.
Yeah, man.
I'll see you Friday if you get a chance, will you?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm going to go throw some money on the Niners in Vegas, dog.
You going to be in Vegas this weekend? All right.
Yeah, man. Wish me luck, dog.
No problem. You got it. Good luck. All
All right, brother. Yeah, have a good one, man. Go
too.
Niners. Give me a go Niners, eh?
I get you. Hey, give me a Niners! Chip sauce with the Vegas. Go, Chip. Nice, Chip.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
You too. Uh-oh. And here it is. Finally, we have arrived. We've not talked to him in a while. It is Hayden time.
Ronbo. It's been a while.
I know. You guys, I was wondering if anybody picked that up black on. Okay, never mind. But hey, Hayden. Come on in, Hayden.
And Chief Slayer
Yes,
has
indeed.
returned, Ronbo.
Yeah, you haven't been gunning them down. I've seen them floating around freely and without any stress. You haven't been around for a while.
Yeah, and I ain't going to talk much about TNT on this show, but you know what? I just need to do one thing.
What's that?
Before Trey showed up, like always, late, like always. Before Trey showed up, TNT was quiet, but then when Trey showed up, they were acting all tough. It's just hilarious to me, Ronbo. And then you got Rudy in the chat. It's just even more hilarious. He's like, Rams Super Bowl bound.
Oh, God. We're going to have to put some kind of mechanism in there to reject him as soon as he comes in. It's got to be something. I'm trying to develop software that you can actually push a control, alt, whatever, and slap a man right through your monitor. Wouldn't that be awesome? You know what, Hayden, if I can develop that kind of software, do you know I'd be like disgustingly rich? How many people want to slap somebody online?
Oh, I know. Imagine.
God, that would be such a rush. But Hayden, we're looking at Kyle Shanahan trading up, and this is not usually a favorable thing to do. Kyle and John trading up.
I'm not saying I want Mac Jones. I'm just saying. I know Kyle Shanahan. He ranted about how he loves Kirk Cousins, okay? And when you rant about how you love Kirk Cousins, it's just he thinks Kirk Cousins is Mac Jones. You know what? I don't know what Kyle's thinking half the time, but, I mean, he ranted about, like, Kirk Cousins, like, I want the pocket quarterback. It's like, you know, I mean, what do I say? You know, I mean, it's the coach's decision, and if he wants to, you know what's kind of funny though? Like, I'm saying like I want Mac Jones over the other. It's just like how like all these things about how Kyle wants Mac Jones, and then you just see all these like 49ers reporters.
Yeah.
Justin Fields confirms. Like, that's not how it works. Just because Steve Young said he wants because Steve Young said he wants a.
Well, Steve Jones wants to see Wilson go to San Francisco.
No, but he thinks they want like a run-around quarterback, which is not true because Kyle literally said, I want a pocket quarterback like a week ago. So.
Yeah. Well, Kyle doesn't mind if you can run around,
mind.
but you still got to run his offense. That's the thing that people are going to struggle with.
Yeah.
Hayden, we're going to see a lot of what we've already seen from other quarterbacks. Waiting for receivers to break open. They're not doing their routes right.
Yeah.
We have a lot of problems that go beyond just the quarterback position that has got to be straightened out. And maybe this year, timing routes will be done right. The offensive line will do what they're supposed to do to allow for enough time. And we need the run game to work. We didn't have a run game last year because the offensive line couldn't move people out of the way. So, you know, a lot of things have to be right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. Yeah, exactly.
So it's more than
and
just
I just gotta give a shout out to Tommy in the chat, man. I really like him in the chat, man. He's cool,
Pappy?
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, he just said something nice about you too. He would never pick on I think that was him who said he never pick on a child. He's got respect for you, Hayden.
Respect.
I could be wrong. There may have been somebody else who said that. No, that's Mr. Joe Poppy. Yeah, that was the name. What do you want to say to him?
No, I just wanted to shout out Tommy because he's like firing at TNT too, so you know it's hilarious.
Yeah. And you might as well, and say something bad to Texas boy as he's saying weird things about
Oh God, yeah. Texas boy, man, he used to show up but I can't talk though because we kind of got beat by the Cowboys, you know. See, it's kind of funny how or it's not even funny how people are like, "Oh, we lost. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter." People don't understand that rivalry. There's people called the new generation. You know,
Yeah.
they forget.
Hey, you're a part of the new generation.
I know, but I actually take the time to look back at other stuff, not say Patrick Mahomes the best quarterback ever in the world.
Eddie Ramirez.
Anyways.
Keep messing with me, man. Keep messing with me. And you'll have your last moments of messing with me.
Eddie Ramirez, he blocked, I can't see him through the chat, but I can see him through your chat. It's YouTube.
Well, Ramirez has always been several names
He
that I
blocked
can't
me,
say.
though. So, Eddie Ramirez, why'd you block me, bro?
Ramirez,
did you get your feelings hurt?
No, he's a combination Rams fan and Chiefs fan. So,
just the people I just dislike are Rudy, Eddie Ramirez, and just the whole TNT. And yeah.
Anyway, Hayden, we're gonna hey, let me see you Friday, and
yeah, I'll see you, Ronbo. Sorry,
all right,
I just wanted to do a comeback. All right, bye, Ronbo.
I enjoyed that. Night, Hayden. Hayden's back, TNT. Hey, and where we going now? We got I saw that earlier, and Mark Lacilento says Mac Daddy Jones is a pick. Go Ladders. Mark Lacilento, I haven't heard from Mark in a long time. Mark, you're because it's not. You can already count how many people actually support the Mac Jones pick. Mark Lacilento, put him down for Mac Jones. Mac Daddy, I love it. Oh, here's a guy that doesn't appreciate Mac Jones. It's Dollar Bill Will.
Ronbo, I got something to say. Something to say.
Go ahead.
Today, what? It's Thursday now. A few minutes ago, it was Wednesday. Now I know school. I know.
I didn't even look at it.
I know school is still going on.
And what is he up for? I know.
See, I want to know where his parents at. Why his parents ain't got the child in bed? Now is school going on, and you got I don't know how old he is, 10 or 12-year-old, and he up here calling the show. He needs to be going to bed and get ready for any type of test he got tomorrow.
But Will, you know how it goes when your folks is in another room. You can do any number of things. All you gotta do is lock that door.
That child need to go to bed. But what's going on, Ronbo?
Well, we're looking at the pick because we're looking at some of the failures that go on from drafting up in the top 2 or 3, 4 picks, and looking down the last few years, ain't none of them did nothing. And then the 49ers now where did that team going to the top of the draft to get the quarterback, and it will. I don't think you see it as a risk. But history says it is a huge risk, and people could get fired behind this. Do you think it's going to work? I mean, I know you ain't scared, but that's the question tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a risk. It's always, but it's a risk either way it goes. I mean, it's a risk getting a rookie quarterback, and it's a risk keeping Jimmy due to the fact that he hasn't been on the field every year. He's been on the field every other year.
But that's a risk. If you would have waited until 12 to pick up a quarterback, it probably wouldn't have been looked at, and you wouldn't have gave up 2 first-round picks coming up the next 2 years. See what I'm saying? It takes on a whole new beast. It's a whole new, different thing. This is what I'm saying. It's what does Jed do if it doesn't work?
They had to go to Jed. They had to go to Jed to get this blessing.
To get agreed, yeah. So maybe Jed doesn't fire nobody if it's a failure because Jed signed off on it.
He agreed to it.
Yeah. So they might not be in any
trouble. He agreed to it. Right. So I think Kyle and John knows who they getting. That's why they did that.
Oh, they've been knowing for weeks.
They know who the guy is. They know who it is. And me, I think it's Justin Fields. Because it's not going to be Mac Jones because of the draft capital gave up. You're not gonna give up that much draft capital to get Mac Jones. Mac Jones need to go to New England. Bill Belichick has been dealing with Brady for I don't know how long, and he's not going to change. He's not going to change the way he see about a quarterback today. So Mac Jones would be a match made in the heavens for Bill Belichick.
Yeah, hold on,
That's if he don't get.
Let me call JKBG a liar. You'll lie, JK. Not only a lie, as my daddy said, you're a damn lie. Okay, go ahead.
So Mac Jones got all-star players around here. Playing in Alabama is just like playing Madden on cheat code. That's all it is. Alabama beats on all competition. It's a team that where you just get you're a top player, top talented player. You get on Alabama, you're gonna be a star regardless. Because you beating on every team in the SEC. And Trey Lance, don't get me wrong, I like Trey Lance too, but Trey Lance has a small sample size because of the amount of years he played there. It's a small sample size. Now Justin Fields is a guy that's been through all obstacles. I mean, the guy goes toe to toe with Trevor Lawrence, which is the first quarterback that's going in the draft. If people haven't forgotten. He went toe-to-toe with Trey Lance every year. He always gave Trevor Lawrence a run for his money. And, it makes sense. When you got Lawrence and Wilson going at 1 and 2, you get the next best player available. And that's Justin Fields. Justin Fields, Kyle Shanahan has helped mold Justin Fields since he was in high school. He went to the quarterback collector when he was in high school. I mean, Kyle already knows what he sees in Justin Fields. Why not finish the project? He was a project coming into his camp. Just finish the project. Get Justin Fields and just continue building him up, molding him into the quarterback that he should be. It makes perfect sense. And then if Justin Fields turn out to be the quarterback and he performs at a high level every year, and it comes to a point later on down the line when Kyle decides to retire, he's old up in age and he retires, and Justin Fields becomes a Hall of Famer. And don't want nobody know but God. But if he becomes a Hall of Famer, he can sit up there on that podium and say and give his appreciation to Kyle Shanahan for making him the quarterback that he was supposed to be. And that would be a huge mark on Kyle Shanahan's legacy. Because what are they saying? This pick this year for Kyle Shanahan is Kyle's pick. This pick is going to define his career. It's going to define his legacy. So why don't you get the guy you helped throughout his process, through his career process, and since he was in high school. I mean, it's time. Pocket passes is no longer should no longer be the thing in San Francisco. I understand Kyle has an ego, but I tell you, if Justin Fields is on that field, he's a pocket passer for sure. He's a pocket passer. He's not the guy that's going to hike the ball and run. He's a pocket passer for sure. Kyle, if the situation breaks down and the line breaks down and Fields gets out of that pocket and improvise or uses his speed to get out of there and keep the drive going, Kyle is not going to get mad at him for that. Why? What any coach would get mad at your quarterback for bailing out and getting the first down? Pete Carroll ain't getting mad at Russell Wilson. Kingsbury ain't getting mad at Kyler Murray for doing it. John Harbaugh ain't getting mad at Lamar Jackson for doing it. So that's what I'm saying. It's time for us to get a dual threat quarterback. I want a quarterback that can sit in the pocket and make throws. That's what Kyle Shanahan likes. But I also know that Kyle Shanahan likes a guy that when the line breaks down and there's no receivers open, he wants somebody to bail him out. Use his speed. Justin Fields ran a 4.4. Justin Fields ran a 4.4 at his pro day while stumbling. He stumbled. He tripped over his feet.
I saw that.
And still ran a 4.4.
We ran out of time, but yeah, I heard you. It sounds good to me. The only question is, it has to work when you draft that high. But then again, Jed agreed to this in the first place. So they may not be as nearly as much trouble, or the pressure may not be as great as it would be ordinarily, because a lot of coaches have been fired that have drafted up into the top 5, and a lot of players that used to be quarterbacks ain't there anymore.
Right.
But anyway.
Right.
But we'll
put
see.
it like this. I'm about to get off. But put it like this. You know Kyle and John had to go to Jed. So if Kyle and John get in trouble for this pick and it don't pan out, Jed it's going to be part of Jed's fault as well because he agreed on it.
Like we said, he signed off on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I will. See you Friday if you get some time. All right.
All right, man. Take it easy.
There he goes. Dollar bill, a will. And we go to Lee. Okay, somebody keeps me. Your Rumble wants to see it fail. Let me get one thing straight here. I'm a 49er fan, so to put up a stupid thought like Rumble wants to see it fail because he likes Jimmy G, go. You know, the team I want to see win. It's one of the reasons why I like G. Okay, he doesn't lose much. Get that through your head. Hey, Lee.
Yo, what up, Ronbo?
Lee, he's got Black Zeus up. At least he got plenty of he puts Zeus in every uniform. Lee,
Black Zeus, baby.
Well, hey, so one thing we're looking at, and this is only because of the history. As I said, only because of the history. It has nothing to do with my likes or not likes. It's the history says drafting up to get a quarterback this early has been a fail for a number of quarterbacks. Lee, is this going to be the year that trend is stopped?
I hope so, Ronbo. If we pick this guy behind me, it will be. It's always risky, Ronbo, trading up in the first round. That's why I think when I first heard about it, I was like, oh man, that sort of sound real desperate, us moving up. But a lot of our fans wanted a quarterback. And if we can get an upgrade at our quarterback position, it's an upgrade to the team and it's an upgrade and more chance that we're going to win a Super Bowl, right, Ronbo?
Absolutely, yeah. That's what you want to do.
It's always risky because so many first-round quarterbacks have busted over the years, and a lot of them don't pan out because people make mistakes. You see it every single year, guys like Sam Darnold, guys like Josh Rosen. There was quite a few guys in that draft, but the funny thing was, Ronbo, the guy that went third in that draft, Josh Allen, was probably the best quarterback, The guy that went in the 2017 draft. Yeah. Guys like Watson went with the third pick in that draft, Ronbo, and the first pick in that draft, Trubisky, he's turned out to be a bust. You look at this draft, Ronbo, we have the third pick, so we've got a good chance at nailing this quarterback. Justin Herbert was the third pick in the 2020 draft, Ronbo. And he was the best rookie quarterback.
Okay, but
he was the third quarterback taken.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Who was number 3 last year? It had to be a QB, right?
It was Burrow, and then I think it was Jeffrey Okuda, and then was it Tua?
It was Tua. Well, okay.
Tua, right? And then and then Herbert went later, and he ended up being the best of the 3. Burrow's good too, but it just shows you, taking the third quarterback has sort of panned out for a lot of teams the last few years in the draft.
But if Tua was number 3, that's already an unlucky number. You know what, though, Lee? The thinking is that could the Jets be joking? They could notice that Wilson's probably a better idea because I still don't know how Wilson got to be ranked at number 2 best. And why do the Jets want him instead of Fields? That still blows me away.
Well, that's the thing, man. Ronbo, there's so many false narratives being put on Black Zeus, Justin Fields, that, he can't read through progressions. He can't anticipate his receivers and throw them open. Like, I've seen it on film. I'll give you a film. Go watch the Michigan game in 2019. He threw a pass that he shows anticipation. One of the best passes I've seen of all of these quarterbacks. There's just so many false narratives. They're saying, he's a black quarterback. He's going to struggle learning the system. Did you see what Mark Sanchez said, Ronbo?
God.
Did you hear what Mark Sanchez said?
About I saw that clip, how brilliant he is and how the guy can take. What was his number? 100 what? 30? Something
130,
like that?
Ronbo. He rated in the top 1% of nearly 7,000 athletes, 6,500 pro athletes. He rated in the top 1%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that shows you not only is this guy a super athlete, but he's a super
He's sharp.
He's a genius, Ronbo. He's sharp. He's very smart, and as people underrate him. I said to you, sorry, that's my niece in the background. I said to you, Ronbo, that day,
she's a Black Zeus fan too.
She's probably laughing or yelling at the comments for Mac Jones, but nah. I said to you that day, he ran a lot of concepts that and a lot of plays very similar to what Kyle does at the 49ers. He ran them at Ohio State, play action, screens, bootlegs. He ran these things. He did 5-7 step drops, Ronbo. There's a lot of plays that are very similar to what we do, what Kyle puts in our offense that he did at Ohio State. And he's going to pick up the playbook fast. Mark Sanchez even said it, if you give him an average playbook, he's going to pick it up easy. You give him a hard one, it's going to be like an average playbook to this kid. He's just super smart. And that's what people don't get, Ronbo. They just think, oh, he's another black quarterback that relies on his legs. But first and foremost, he's a pocket passer. Will said it just before.
Exactly. And he sounds like he may be on the same parallel as Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, a lot of what he does out there is coming from his ability to think and process quickly and make a decision. Maybe this is the same kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen how success Russell's had, and I think he just elevates our offense, Ronbo. You can look what we can do with play actions and stuff, with a guy that can nearly run a 4-3, him scrambling around, if he needs to. We don't have the best offensive line when it comes to pass protection. It's built to run first and foremost. So you get an athlete like him in our offense, it just elevates it to like levels I don't think we've ever seen with Kyle Shanahan. He said in the presser, Ron, remember when he said, ideally you want a quarterback that can play in the pocket and can also, make plays out of the pocket, big, strong, and fast. And to me, that's Justin Fields or Trey Lance. What I like about Fields is he's played top tier competition. He's got the experience and he's extremely competitive and tough. He's played through so many injuries, to try and win the game. And I think with Jimmy, that's been one of the biggest things. He's been injured a lot of the time and he hasn't been able to play through a lot of these injuries. And Justin Fields has shown that he can do that.
You should hear the comments about Lee's lying. Those are his stepchildren.
That's funny.
But Lee, I agree. I'm looking forward. I just hope that they allow for us to have preseason. I want to, and I got a feeling it's going to be Justin Fields too, because Kyle would be embarrassed if you pick up Mac Jones after trading up you didn't have to do that. You could have got Mac Jones a little later, given up less assets. So you actually need to get either Justin,
or
Wilson, or
that's the thing, Ron. But imagine our
Lance.
fan base if we take, we take Jones and we pass on Justin Fields. He goes to a team and he ends up being the next Watson or the next Mahomes. He goes to Denver, he goes to Carolina, or one of these other quarterback needy teams. And we take McCorkle Jones, and what if he doesn't beat out Jimmy Ronbo, That's going to look real bad, He's a good player, McCorkle. I just don't see that upside, that you can get out of one of these phenom star type quarterbacks in the draft.
Dude, I love the name. I've seen that around, McCorkle. We got to go.
Anyways, Ronbo, thank you.
Shout
out to everyone.
We'll
Thank you to you and your team.
All right.
Thank you, Ronbo.
Thank you. Bye, Lee. See you Friday. And Papa Dragon, you got no audio though. You gotta make an adjustment there because we got no sound from what production's telling me. Okay. Looks like we're gonna say goodbye. We're gonna get some instruction to Papa Dragon later. Fam, I'm gonna roll and listen, boy, don't be accusing nobody of liking Jimmy more than a team. I like Jimmy because he wins for the team, not because I don't like another quarterback. So, my God, that's just disgusting. What a thought. And anywhere else, go straight to the pervert. Take your Chiefs loving self. Papa,
what about me now?
Papa Dragon.
My Chiefs switch to the perfect.
He's pushing the buttons. Papa Dragon, can you hear me? He's still making adjustments. But Papa Dragon? You gotta love that.
Yeah, what's up, Ronbo?
Okay, good. You can hear me now. Papa Dragon, man, yeah, come on
I
in,
can
man.
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you clearly.
I'll try it to.
Well, what we're doing here is we were looking at the pick, and we're looking at
Yes.
history says that picking up a quarterback in the top 5 and trading up for him has not worked out well in a long time. So here we are. We're that guy. We're picking up in the top 5. Are we going to be okay? Do you have any fears about that? I mean, even if for no other reason other than bad luck.
Yeah, of course I have fears. Of course I have fears. I have fears for Mac Jones.
That's the biggest one too. That's the biggest fear everybody has. They're not worried about anything but Mac. As far as it being the number 3 pick and history saying it's a bad thing or disastrous thing, has nothing to do with it. It's Kyle, and will he do this and bring Mac Jones with the excuse that's already out there now already? There was knowledge running around that there was going to be a trade up to get Mac Jones. So Kyle Shanahan did what he had to do.
No, I honestly don't think so. You don't trade that many picks for Mac Jones. You know, there's just a lot of smoke screen and mirrors going on right now. You know, one of them is the fact that you have to pick your guy. And I don't think they traded up for him. Honestly,
it doesn't make sense.
On my draft board, the number 1 quarterback is Fields. And let me tell you why. It's very simple. When Shanahan had RG3, you've noticed that whenever RG3 got hit, it was like he got hit by Donkey Kong. It's like he flew across the field constantly. That's because he was really a 185-pound guy with about 20 pounds of muscle on him. So he was like a gym-made body. Okay. So one of the things I like the most, and I hate Ohio State passionately, and I despise all their quarterbacks, is that Fields is a grown man. People are making all this hoopla about Pitts and that he's a Hall of Famer. Well, you know what? Pitts ran a 4.4. So did Fields. Now, Fields has flaws. They all have flaws. But if you really think that Aaron Donald, is gonna touch somebody like Trevor Lawrence, he's gonna blow that skinny kid up. If he touches Zach Wilson, he's gonna blow Zach Wilson up.
Oh, I don't want to even see that.
So that's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that you have to look at a full-grown man coming in, not necessarily someone coming in and being like, oh, well, we got to work on him. He's a project and blah, blah, blah. The only project I would even consider would be Lance, because he's 20. He ain't even done growing yet. I didn't stop growing until I was 24. So, the reality is that Trey Lance wanted to be in 6'5", 6'6". He could wind up being that. He could wind up being 240, 250. So, I mean, there's a part of football where you got to be tough and be a man. And if you look at the tape, Mac Jones has excellent tape, but he has excellent conditions.
Yeah.
He has clean pockets to throw from, but if you look at him throw, man, his footwork is perfect. His motion is perfect. His body is perfect beer body. Same difference. Aaron Donald gets a hold of him, it's over. Like a lot of people have been really down on Jimmy G, and I don't like porn star Jimmy either. I mean, I can only imagine Kyle Shanahan having to explain to his kids what a porn star is.
Lawrence, don't let your kid watch Stephen A. Smith. Yeah.
I'm just saying. Stephen A. Smith he's a necessary evil. But the reality is that as a CEO of an entire organization, people will look to you fair or not. And I honestly believe that while the kid from Ohio State Fields, again, he's the best quarterback. Okay, just on my board. Second is Trevor Lawrence. Third is Zach. Okay, and based on what I looked at, I'm seeing a lot of bias. I'm seeing, he's only played 17 games. Well, so did Mac Jones. So the only guys there's only two quarterbacks in this draft that are going to be, I believe, non-busts. That's going to be basically Trevor Lawrence and whoever the 49ers take. Because the 49ers, unlike most teams drafting at 3, have a team already in place. They have offensive tackle, the best in the league. Okay, they have running game. They have receivers. But imagine this, and this is why it's so important that people understand this. Although Fields is not a running quarterback, he's a quarterback first, 70% completions. And if you really watch the tape, you'll see he's throwing people open and he's throwing the ball before they even look for the ball. His footwork is all over the place. That can be fixed. But when you defend the field, you're not defending vertically from end zone to end zone. You're defending from sideline to sideline. So you imagine you got Mostert and a whole line zone game going one way, and all of a sudden you got Fields going the other way. So now the defense has to defend more field. Now, if you keep your tempo up, defense is going to be real tired of having to keep somebody, one person, always watching Fields. So now you're playing 11-on-11 ball. So regardless of how you look at it, it's really a Colin Kaepernick type of a situation in regards to his first 2 years. He can really surprise some people. The real question is he going to be smarter than what Colin Kaepernick was, who was a little bit egotistical, became a little bit more militant as time went on. And his focus wasn't on the game of quarterbacking. If he can focus in this particular offense, he'll be excellent. Same thing with Zach Wilson. If he's in this offense, he'll be excellent until he gets blown up because he's light, right? Now,
tremendously.
That's how I look at it. If Mac Jones was drafted, he gets drafted. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is going to choose this guy, but I'm telling you, I have 100%. I have been a Shanahan guy forever. I'm talking about all the way back to his dad, right? All the way back to his dad. He had John Elway, and John Elway was not the best reader of defenses. So he cut the field in half. Shanahan will roll him one way or the other, and he could throw the whole field. But you look at your main reads, 1, 2. If that third person is open across the field, throw it, because he had the arm to do it. Yeah. I believe Fields is that same player. He basically the Deshaun Jackson of this draft.
We're going to see. That's why I can't wait to preseason to see if some of the things we anticipate with these guys is for real at this level.
Right.
Right. Hey,
now, if I know this, the Jets know this.
I know, right?
So
why would they not take Fields? We got to go though, Papa. Exactly. We're out of time.
Okay,
get back in here. That's very entertaining stuff, though. Well, let's see you Friday if you get a chance.
All right. Later, Ronbo.
Later, fam. Like a guy that knows exactly where he's going with every thought. That's good stuff. Anyway, as I was saying, time for me to roll. Damn, thanks for the contribution tonight. Really appreciate that. And, Ray Jr. says not another Colin Kaepernick. Nah, these guys are different nowadays. So, bam, I'll see you Friday. As like you know how we always do. And yes, Bob Money, you're right. I do like Jimmy Garoppolo. There's no shame in that. Oh, yes. Give me. See you Friday. Oh, wait. Slacks. I'll take James Earl Jones before I take Mac Jones. Luke, I'm your father, Luke. I shall see you Friday, Luke. I don't expect you to come over to the dark side. Uh-oh, see, that's what happens when you start clowning around. You know? That's the last time I tried to do Trip Ballgame before I signed off. That was a problem, too. So you got to know when to quit clowning. I'm through. All right, wait until we get one more time. Niners!